Hello and welcome everyone to the 2 hours of Kyalami event, Last Row Racing. So I was supposed to have co-commentators, but things happen, and we'll see who pops into the booth here or there. So before we get in, we got 30 minutes of free practice here, so we're just kind of watching them on track as they get some practice in, many of which this is their first laps on track. I think a lot of people are more focused on the GT3 and GT4 series right now. So we got some fast laps coming in. Looks like Tommy Schatz is at the top right now. So we can go ahead and we can look at the Kyalami layout. So as you can see, there is 16 corners. This is a counterclockwise track. There are 6 corners to the right and 9 to the left. It is a 4.5 kilometer track. The pole position is on the right side, I guess if you care about that. It is currently an FIA Grade 2, which I think it means it can't host an F1 race right now. And speaking of F1 race, this is the last race to host, or the track to host in South Africa, to host an F1 race. And this is also where the Grand Prix Drivers Association famously striked over the new super license conditions. So, as you can see, there are some cool names out there. You know, the King, Crowthorne into the Juxie Sweep, the Barbecue, down straight to the Sunset, up to the Clubhouse, through the S's, over Lake Cope, I think, and then down another slight straight into a mine shaft, and then over through the Crocodiles, into the Cheetah, and then the Ingwe, I think. You can tell how American I am and don't know how to pronounce foreign words. So without further ado, let's get back to the action. So right now Schatz is on top. I have no clue why my software is not showing properly. We got James Insby in P2 right now. Okay. Still having a few technical issues right now. Go ahead and turn off the intro music off. You can listen to the nice sounds of engines going around this track. Martin Brooker is up in P4 right now. He's been performing well in the leagues. He's definitely stepped up his game in the last few weeks. Let's see here. Got Robertson, one of my drivers, sporting the team colors, much appreciated. Moving down the line, we got Elko Hugaveen, running the Pink Panther livery, which is famously used in the 70s by, I think, maybe it was the 80s. We were talking about it in chat, but it was used by the Porsches at Le Mans. Then we got a new driver coming in. I don't think they're in either of the leagues. Dixon Hurst. We'll have to see what he does. Moving down the line, we got Malton Baldinger. I guess that is a non-custom livery. It looks like a one of the game standard liveries. That's really cool. That might be a custom livery. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on the in-game liveries. Then we got Robert Constantin, who is used. I don't know if he's still using, but he was using the Maserati in the GT4s, I believe, which is like good on him. Gonna continue down the line. We got Dix. Okay, already. Robert Constantin went up. Then we have Rage F1 running for the Brexit Boys, his own team. Let's get on the line. We got Carlos Delgado, Van Geffen, Brilliance, and Justin St. Laurent. So right now we just have 14 people in right now. Still a few more to come in. It's just free practice. Let's go ahead and see. See, Brooker's on a faster lap. Looks like Vandervalk. Looks like they've done a driver switch. So I just gotta get used to these. Okay, so 331, so that is Bob the Warrior and Dixon Hurst. It'd be nice to know their actual names that they're driving under. I'm assuming that Bob the Warrior is Vandervalk. Okay. So we have a few interesting facts here that some of the drivers have submitted. So we can go over them real quick. Okay. So we got Robert Constantin. He is running the Union Jack livery, as you can see, for World War I Remembrance Day. So that is very kind of him. It's a very important day in our history, of course. I believe it's 11/11. That 11/11th of the 11th hours, whenever World War I was declared a ceasefire. Okay. Is there anyone else running anything? Oh, let me switch over to broadcasting. There we go. So this one's actually quite interesting. Justin St. Laurent is running the Chess Records Racing livery. So he is named his team after, of course, the iconic Chicago Blues studio that I knew off by hand, and I didn't have to read what he wrote, of course. I knew exactly what it was. And he's also a professional 50s blues musician. So might have to get him to play us some music sometime. Interesting to hear. The rest we can kind of get through. We can save some for later in the stream whenever I run out of things to say. See if anyone's on a fast lap. Vandervalk is apparently 32 seconds up on the lap time. I feel like he's not 32 seconds up on his lap time. I'd put him in the 1:30s. I don't know, let's see where he comes across the line here. Oh no. Oh boy. Did I just run into my first tech issue? Oh boy. Alright. 2 seconds. I think I gotta leave the server. Alright.
Green light, show them where you go.
There we go. Alright. Perfect. We got 21 minutes of this. Just me sitting here, talking to no one. We're getting some practice in. Let's move back to, let's go to camera set 2. Now, drivers to watch in this right now, if you have not been following along with the other LRR races, are definitely Schetz and Insby. Chris Downing and Jordy Sanders will be joining at some point, but they are other ones to watch as well. So right now, James has the better first sector, but Schetz is beating him out in the second 2 sectors. Do I not have... I don't have live timing. Oh, goodness. There we go. Alright. Now I got live timing. Justin St. Laurent is on a faster lap. Let's move, of course, to broadcasting here. Okay. I think he improved his time. Yes, by a couple tenths. Delgado's in the pits. Ensby's in the pits. Sheds is getting some laps in still. So, interesting thing about today is that it's going to be a 5-minute qualifying. So it's going to be quite the frantic time. It's going to basically be a super pole. If you know F1. Martin Brooker is up in P3. So that's kind of where he's kind of slotted into in these past couple of races. He's been threatening for podiums these past couple of times. Previously, he at the beginning of the season, he was mainly teetering on the top 10, but he's really picked up his pace in the last few weeks. So hopefully we can see him at the front end of the field today. Now, Chad Hari and Rage F1 have some history together. They've had a few incidents on track. Let's hope they can keep it civil in practice at least. So there are teams today. That is the other thing. A few of the drivers will be having teammates. Of course, yet to be in the server is Chris Downing and Jordy Sanders, but they will be teammates. Who else? Van Geffen and Dambrowskis. Yeah, Van Geffen. So in 13th place, 412 will be teammates. I should have looked up how to pronounce these names. If anyone knows how to announce names, that'd be great. In the 77 car, it's going to be an all-Spanish lineup of Delgado and Rafistar. In the number 1 car, it'll be a Swiss and Portuguese lineup of Baldinger and Pereira. Pereira, I think I said that right. So I'm sure if Mario's watching, he'll be rooting for Pereira, the Portuguese driver. And then moving down to the 331, Dixon Hurst, which I think his name's actually Dixon Hurst, and then Vandervalk are going to be an all-Canadian lineup. And then finally, the Brexit boys, all-British lineup is going to be Rage F1 and Jamie Ellis in the 88 car. Okay. I think that's it. Everyone else will be racing solo, unless there's any last-minute changes that I wasn't aware of. See if anyone's on track. Hugavin and the Pink Pig. Oops. Is anyone improving? Delgado's improving on this lap. Up half a second this lap. Yami Hirazawa, who's apparently Canadian. A very un-Canadian name. I'm sure there's a ancestry, interesting story about that. Or maybe the race app is wrong. Who knows? I think we're almost... Yeah, that's the issue. Maybe I'll reset with the sessions. I think we're almost... Everyone's here. Are we missing anyone? I think we're missing the 102 car. No. Might be missing another car. A couple people backed out last minute. So, yeah, we might be missing one or two cars. There's Jordy Sanders. And my timing's messed up. But hopefully whenever it switches sessions, it's going to fix itself. Otherwise, it's going to be really annoying. So we got 12 minutes left of free practice. Early signs, looks like a Schetz and Insby battle. We'll see if Sanders is up to speed, if Downing is also up to speed, and we'll have to see how the driver swaps play out, of course. Now there is a mandatory pit stop in this race. Let me see if I can get any additional information here. Let's put the info. Yeah, mandatory pit stop for tires, and refueling is allowed. I don't think you can make it on one tank anyways. That'd be quite impressive if they could. Weather is a question mark, which I don't know if that's because of the game or if that's because of the system or whatever in place. I don't know if they're trying to hide it or if they just don't know what's going to happen. It's up in the air. Okay. Alright, so Insby's back on track. Looks like he is not on a lap yet. So let's ride on board with James. So yeah, this is an out lap. We'll come back to James in a minute. Let's go back over to Brulance. We'll keep the track map up here. So James is coming to the line soon. Alright, yeah. Let's go back over to James. And go on board. Alright, let's walk through a lap here. And he's going right back in. Never mind. Oh, God. Oh. The classic out lap into an in lap. Fantastic. Alright. Who is starting a lap? Looks like we'll ride on with Rage. So Rage comes out the final corner, the Ingwe, as they say. So you're going to come down the straight. Now this first kink is technically a turn. So this is turn 2 down here, the Crowthorn. The Crowthorn leads into the Juxke sweep. And then at the end up here, it's a sharp left-hander, the Barbecue. Down a short straight. This leads into a sweeping right-hander, the Sunset. Nice and flowing. A little bit wide there. Maybe that's actually fine. Now we're going to go into a sharp left-hander, the Clubhouse. A little bit unstable in that corner. Curbs are massive here. They're very dangerous. Now we go through the S's here. And now we're going into this hairpin. Le Cope? Le Cope? If anyone speaks South African, let me know. And now we go down the hill, down a straight into the mine shaft. And into a sharp right-hander known as the Crocodiles, which is a sharp right-hander and then a slight left-hander. And then into a fast right-hander, the Cheetah, aptly named. And then finally we end up in the Ingwe. So now that you're all experts at this track, I don't have to ever say those corner names again. Alright. There we go. Anyone on it? Okay, looks like Shetz is improving. Hope you're all prepared for 2 hours of this. 2 hours of probably just me talking to myself, being super bored. Of course, we do have a correspondent up in the helicam. Dave, what do you see? Dave. You know, some people would say don't hire a deaf person to fly a helicopter because they can't hear you whenever you talk to them. But I call them ableists. Anyways, I mean, next you're going to say don't hire blind people to be cameramen. But look how well they're doing. See? Perfect. Alright. Who is on a fast lap? Shetz is still on a fast lap here. Ooh, goes wide. Shetz went into the 143s with that lap. Looking like a competitive pole time is going to be probably in the low 143s or perhaps mid 143s. How is Jordy Sanders getting along here? He's in the pits. I don't... Is he not in there anymore? I think he left. I think he left the server. So final few laps here. I'll have to keep up with anyone on faster laps here. Jod Hari's going slightly faster in this lap. He's up 4/10 currently. And Sanders is back. So I think we have everyone now. I believe 16 is the right number. Kadhari's still a 10th up on his lap, apparently. See if he can improve from 5th place. Looks like he did not improve. It was 3/10 slower than his fastest lap. Anyone else on a quick one? Looks like Baldinger's on a quicker lap. Of course, using the number 1 car, which implies that he's going to win this race. That is the world champion number, of course. Baldinger is currently 6/10 up on his lap. See what this lap puts him. He's coming across the line now. 2nd up. That puts him 9th fastest. Looks like Robertson had a fast lap. Got up to 6th place. It's looking like the average lap time is going to be in the 145s, maybe high 144s. So Schetz might be in a field of his own. We'll see how Sanders fares in qualifying. Of course, it is a 5-minute qualifying session. Anyone improving last minutes? Van Geffen up 1.1 seconds. Where does that shoot him? Up to 3rd! Van Geffen. Out of nowhere. My goodness. 145.2. So it's looking like... My goodness. So the spread of the field right now is Schetz in the 143s, Ensby in the 144s, and then 3rd place in the 145s. It's going to be, hopefully it closes up a little bit in race pace, but it's looking like it's going to be a very stretched out front 2. So we'll see how things shake up. Of course, Sanders has yet to set a time, and he is one of the quickest in the league. Again, people to look out for the top 4 or 5 is going to be Schetz, Ensby, Sanders, Delgado, and Brooker are pretty far up there. So we'll see how this plays out. But fantastic lap from Van Geffen there at the end. Rage is up on his lap. 3/10. We'll see where that puts him. It's hard to tell where they're going through. So he's about halfway through the lap. He's coming up to the hairpin here. Looks like he's about dead even. I think he lost some pace there. Looks like he might be the last one on track. Oh, okay. Session start.
Green light, give it all you can.
Okay, I got 2 drive. Okay, perfect. Alright, did it reset? It did. Perfect. It reset my live timing screen. Alright, everyone's going, because it's 5 minutes, boys. It is going to be rush hour out there. Gosh, where are you, Shets? Shets. There you are, Shets. So, of course, at the top of this, is it... No, it's not Trevor Hardy. Who's at the top? Who's at the front? No, is it Sanders at the front? Did Sanders got out first in a pure white Porsche. Looks very nice on this track in the day. So let's follow along here. I mean, we can see the C. Here, let's see. Is this it? Number 3? So Roberts is right behind him, but as you can see from the track map, it's gonna get busy. Who's 412? Van Geffen is just sitting there. I guess he's going for trying to get some clean track. All right, let's go back to broadcasting. Huge lineup. There's going to be a massive pile up at the end here. Everyone trying to get some space. Hopefully everyone got the right setup on. Alright, let's see how Sanders does. I'll keep an eye on live timing here. Try to see if anyone is putting in a blinder. Of course, it's only going to be giving me differences, so if no one set a time, then who knows? Alright, so Sanders is starting his lap. Let's watch and see how he does. So as far as I know, this is his first lap on this track. I don't know how much practice he's put in. Apparently he's known as, what was it, last minute Jordy or something? I don't know what they said earlier. So we'll see if that shows in his pace or if he has some pace in him. So the ones to watch are Insby, Schetz, and Sanders for pole. Very short session. Almost done with the first lap, and it's almost over. People are still in their out laps. Getting in the way. There's probably going to be a lot of reports going on. Come around here. Through the cheetah. Down to the Ingwe. And on to the pit straight. Let's see where Sanders is going to place. First lap is a 1:43.7 straight to the top. Well, I mean, he's the only one putting a lap in, but imagine that is very competitive. It was Robertson that was up next. Oh, it looks like he's backed out of his attempt. Or he made a mistake somewhere. Alright, Chet's to P2. Brooker to P3. James has set a 1:45.7. Not very competitive for his standards. I'll keep an eye on who's improving. Looks like Brooker's doing the most improvement on his time right now. 1:45.6. He's up 0.5. 0.6. Sanders is up 0.1. We're 30 seconds away from finishing the session. Looks like Dixonhurst have an issue. He's in the pits. Chad Hari is 1.7 seconds up. Back over to Brooker, who is currently at 0.6 up. Schetz is right on his tail, of course. That's not going to make Schetz very happy. Van Geffen to P3. The session is over. So we'll see how they shake out here. Brooker's lost a lot of time throughout the section. Jodhari's still up the most. Schetz is up the most in the top 3. Is that enough to put him on top of Sanders? Ooh, we'll see how... I don't think he's appreciating what Brooker's doing right now. That's a super pole. Schetz goes to P1, despite being blocked there at the end. Sanders is P2. Van Geffen P3. Brooker is P4 for now. Broylance is... Ooh. And a late mistake puts him into the wall. Will not be improving. Quite a shocker from James Insby. 15th place. Not where he expected to be. Again, this is 5-minute super pole. Roberts up to P5. Good work from him. Putting the team up there. Okay. 5 minutes to start here. Go ahead and hit drive. But I'll go ahead and we can go over the Kyalami layout one more time. So it is 16 corners counterclockwise. So the first turn is technically the king. Then we go down the rest of the straight to the Crowthorne. And then up the Juxie sweep, which is kind of like a S section basically. Then we got the barbecue, followed by a downward straight to the sunset, up into the clubhouse, and then down into the second S section. Then to a hairpin called Le Cop. And then it goes down again to the mine shaft. And then it goes over to the crocodile, which is a sharp right-hander and then a slight left-hander. And then to the fast right-hander, the cheetah, down into the final corner, the Ingwe, back onto the front straight. That is the starting soon. There we go. So let's go right on board to the field. Let's see where's my cursor here? Where are you? Where is my cursor? Oh, it's still in game. There we go. All right. So we got our helicam, of course. Deaf Dave up in Thane doesn't talk back because he can't hear me. So we got a very standard front row for LRR, Schetz and Sanders. A very surprising Van Geffen. I don't remember him being too towards the front. I don't think he's ever in the back, but I don't remember him being on the top 2 rows. Brooker is where he's been for the past few weeks, so he's still showing good pace. Robertson must be happy with P5, I'm sure. Typically, top 10 is pretty capable. Qualifying is not necessarily a strong suit, but he's probably happy with P5 today. We'll see where he does in the race. Broylance, again, a typical top 10 contender. But usually... Ooh. But last race, between Robertson and Broylance, they had an incident. So... Let's see if they carry forward a grudge. Hugavane, usually in the top 15, can have a good day here or there. Top 5, whenever he can keep it on track and everything goes well, and he doesn't get taken off by the young people. Baldinger, I'm not sure exactly what he does in the league. I'm not sure if he is in the league. I don't recognize him very much. Constantin, I think he's held back by his car mainly, so hopefully he gets a top 10 finish here. Chaudhary, again, usually in the top 10. Rage starting just outside the top 10. Again, I don't think he's very good in qualifying, but he usually has race pace. And, of course, he's joined by Twin Barrel J, Jamie Ellis, who is also good at race pace. So hopefully one of them joins me in the booth eventually. That would be nice. They're supposed to be joining me eventually. Maybe. I don't know. Ooh! Ooh, did someone... Robert Constantin just dropped out. Did he lag out? Continuing down the field, we got Justin St. Laurent. Then we got another newcomer, or newcomer Yami. And then newcomer Dixon Hurst. James Ensby, the surprise probably of this entire field, and Carlos Delgado, another surprise of this field. These two are usually fighting in the top 5, if not for wins. So very surprising that they must have had issues on their laps. Must have incidents. Hard to tell. Lost connection. Okay. Constantine lost connection. So I'm assuming that will push him into the pit lane, but we'll have to see. Ooh. Doesn't let him reconnect. Should do today. I don't know if this session is going to be delayed. But we got a full formation lap ahead of us. Pull up this again. Alright, it looks like Constantine is unfortunately not going to be able to reconnect to the race. So Schetz leads us away. We don't need to be in helicam right now. There we go. It's a great shot of the field. So let's see if there's any interesting facts that we can go through while they get lined up and warm up their tires. So we do have some info on Baldinger. His sim racing experience so far is 165 hours of ACC. But this is his first ever driver swap today, and he's driven the Porsche Cup for less than an hour. So I guess we'll see how no practice does for him. Moving down the field, we got the newcomer, Kyalami, who is new to sim racing. He does race motorcycles in real life though, lightweight production series. The Ninja 300 and 400 Yamaha R3, KTM 390, and Honda CBR 500R. And he won the 2019 Junior Lightweight Production Championship first overall. And he also races a vintage 1988 Yamaha. So, got some experience there. Of course, everyone knows Rage. He's sim racing for at least a decade. Same with his teammate. Wants us to know that he's still slower than most, but always has fun. And he's a small Twitch streamer, so you can go and watch him there. And he's a commentator for various league races. Yeah, it's twitch.tv/rage_F1 if you want to watch his perspective today. Same thing with Robertson. It is twitch.tv/Cobunite if you want to see his perspective. Alright. And that is all. We'll get back up to Schetz. Field is lining up double file. Going through the cheetah at a snail's pace, ironically. Ooh, Sanders slowing down. Coming together. We'll get the best view from the helicam as we start the race. We'll be looking out for incidents. We do have a replay button today, so I'll be quick on that hopefully. Sanders is way ahead of Schetz for some reason. They're coming down the line. Green light. Schetz is way ahead. I don't know how he managed that. I don't know if that... But he is flying away already. Schetz is slotting into P2 there. Let's switch over to camera set 2. See if there's any incidents, any late breakers. Looks like everyone's making it to the first corner. Van Geffen is looking like he's threatening for P2. Let's get a better angle here. Back to Helicam. No, he's not even close. Schetz and Sanders are going to be in a field of their own today, it looks like. Let's see how James Insby is taking it. He is already up a few positions. He's going to be looking for more. He's going to be looking for ways through the field. So Sanders and Schetz are going to be like this most of the race, pushing each other all the way. Looks like Brooker had a mistake early on. A drive-through penalty for Insby already. Was he cutting the track? Did he get a severe collision? I don't see any damage on his car, but he already has a drive-through penalty apparently. So, but they're still 2 hours ahead. Let's switch over to camera 2 here. Let's watch as people come to the field. Looks like Rage has made up a couple positions. Brooker's lost a couple. Hoogeven has pretty much stayed where he is, moved up a few positions. Robertson has done fantastically to get up to P3, past Van Geffen. So he must be excited and very happy with where he is today. But yeah, like I said, it looks like it's going to be a Sanders and Schetz P1 and P2, as has become accustomed in this series. And then it's going to be a close battle for everyone else. Now, this is going to be a cool shot right here as everyone comes down. Doesn't seem like... Do we have gaps? Yeah, we have differences here. Hoogeven is the closest. So, Brooker's going to make a move. He's going to go down the inside of Sunset. And he thinks better of it. Insby is not taking that drive-through penalty. We'll see how everyone slots in. Looks like Robertson is building the gap. Such a shame for Constantine. Especially for my streaming, my software, as it doesn't show. It shows them on there. Looks like everyone's... Ooh, Insby is really moving through the field. That. Straight down the inside, and Ingwe, and he's looking like he's ready to get a move on past Broylance. Let's go ahead and get a dash cam here as he chases down Broylance. Is he not going to take his drive-through? Does he not know he has a drive-through? I don't know. Ooh, he's trying to do the undercut. A crossover. Is he going to go for the inside? No. Thinks better of it. Oh, Broylance makes a mistake. And he is going to take that position. Doesn't need a second invitation at all. Rage is on a good lap here. Ooh, Schetz and Sanders. Looks like they are still going at it. Still neck and neck. It's going to be a battle to watch for most of the race. Yeah, my timing is completely messed up thanks to constant sticks to connect. Though I'm sure he's more mad about it than I am. So, I have no clue what's going on. Of course, Tommy Schett's race team is Stiff Shafts Racing, so that's fantastic. Insby has taken his drive-through penalty. I'm sure he's fuming in there. Not very happy with whatever caused that. I'm sure it was track limits. I don't see anything on my list. Martin Brooker is going after Boy Lance right now. Hoogavan is still holding position. And Van Geffen is catching back up to Robertson. Looks like everyone's being very reasonable for a 2-hour race, of course. 2 hours, yes. That is how long I'm going to be here by myself. 2 hours with my thoughts. Hope you enjoy. Looks like everyone's just being civil right now. I'm not seeing anyone going off. Don't see any errors anywhere. Let's see if I go back to, if I go back to basic HUD, it'll show the ones. So everyone has to do a mandatory stop for tires. Question is, do you do multiple stops? There's a lot of strategy at play here. Do you do one stop, 60-minute stints each? Do you do multiple stops? Do you cut a stop short? Do you undercut? You can undercut twice. There's a lot at play here with a 2-hour race. And of course you got to factor in that driver swap. Let's go back up to Schetz and Sanders. See how they're getting on. As always, being pushed to the limits. Just in a league of their own. Now, how many times will Sanders lap the field? Who knows? Will there be a mistake by Schetz or Sanders? Will one of them take each other out? But I think that at this point they're pretty used to racing each other, so they're pretty civil when it comes to racing on track. But who knows? This isn't part of the championship. Maybe one of them just wants to, there's no reviewing incidents in this race. So some people could take that as don't get involved, or some people can take that as there's no consequences. So we'll see what the drivers decide to do today. Of course, this is all for fun. No championship on the line here. Bragging rights at most. So the gap is building. It's now 8 seconds back to why is Constantine on there? Oh gosh, that's gonna be so annoying the whole time. Completely ruins my timing, and the only way to fix it is leaving. Ooh, yellow flag. What's happening? Yellow flag where? Do you see damage anywhere? Maybe, some damage on St. Laurent's car. I don't see any damage on Baldinger's. So I wonder if there was a spin, a hit in the wall. Ooh, there's massive damage on Baldinger's car. Man, I wonder what happened there. We do have a replay button, but I didn't see it. So, don't know how long ago that was. That is unfortunate. Of course, Baldinger had an hour in this car before this race, so not shocking that he messed up. James is back on the hunt again. after serving his drive-through penalty. Of course, that did not... No, that did not clear his stop, of course. He's going to be super aggressive today, I'm sure. Ooh! Oh gosh, what a hit! Oh, let's get another angle of that. Ooh. James is not going to be happy with that. Looks like he might have turned too much. I don't know. If anyone can take a look at that. I was too busy trying to figure things out. But see, we do have a replay button. Oh, James is just pushing super hard. Lots of damage to that car. He is not having a good time out there. Ooh, there is a spinner in the back there. Irazawa has got it back on track, is continuing, not pulling into the pits yet. Any change at the front? Of course not. This is going to be a 2-hour battle, this between Sanders and Schatz. Always seems to be. Sanders is like an expert defender. Of course, last time out in Paul Ricard, he defended against Ensby. And that was an amazing battle down to the wire. Ooh, Robertson has fallen off the pace a little bit. Did he spin out at all? Looks like his car is nice and shiny and clean, so I guess he's just backing off a little bit, keeping it within his limits. Might have made a slight mistake here or there. But Van Geffen has retaken 3rd place and is pulling a gap. A little bit of a wiggle there. Looks like there might be some damage on that front left corner. There's a big line here of cars. Oh, Chaudhary had a spin. Is he in the pits now? I can't switch to him, so I'm gonna guess that he's gone. Looks like he is gone. So I guess he has left the session. Race of attrition is already well underway here. Another person just dropped out. Who's that? One of them? Schatz, Sanders, Van Geffen, Rollins, Hewlin. Rage! Rage disconnected. Did he get punted off? Is there connection issues? What's going on? Ensby is still going strong with a damaged car. Next car ahead. Let's look at the gaps here. So there's this massive train here from 4th to 8th. And then there's a battle for P1. There's no man's land of P3. And then space out behind 10th through 13th. 13th is way far back due to that spin. But there's just this massive train here. I guess let's ride on board here. Martin Brooker. Let's see how he's doing. Ooh, Broylance made a mistake. Did he spin out? Let's see if we can catch him into that. Yeah, I guess he just spun out. Robertson back up to P4. See if he has the pace. I'll look at their relative times. Looks like Robertson is slightly quicker than Van Geffen at this point of the race. Might have saved some tires, did some fuel saving, I'm not sure. This will mainly be a strategy battle. Let's check in on Schutz and Sanders here. Yet again, battle for the ages. It's what, lap 8? Ooh, Chet's going for an outside move here. Or is he just faking? Is he going to go under? He's looking like he's going for a move now. He's tired of waiting. Let's go ahead and go on board with Schetz. Let's get the dash cam. I gotta say, I love this fantastic livery, like cotton candy. Ooh, that was very close. Looks like Sanders is braking earlier, braking later, switching his braking points. Doing classic defending moves. Just gonna ride on board here for a few minutes. Hang on. Alright, looks like there might be a few commentators joining me, which is good. So Rage F1 did get disconnected. So there are some disconnection issues. So the chase cam here. Get a good view of the car. Like Robertson, Hugavane, and Brooker are just in line. Delgado's falling off the back, which is a bit surprising. Usually is right up there with the top 5. Robertson, of course, regularly does 2.4-hour races. So 2 hours should be quite normal for him. But I'm sure he's not excited about you know, it's still going to be annoying. Not annoying, it's going to be hard. It's not easy to do a 2-hour race. Very fatiguing. He's up 3/10 this lap, but so is Hugavane. They are reeling in P3. So we'll see if they work together to close up the pack. Any change at the top? Nope. Status quo. No rest for Sanders, though. Wonder if that will fatigue on him over 2 hours. We'll have to see if someone goes for the undercut. Of course, I think a lot of people are going to go for the one stop. Also, we have to see if people put in the right amount of fuel. Some people might not have fueled enough. Ensby finally catching up to P8 with all that damage as well. So it's not over yet for Ensby, but it's going to be a recovery kind of day. And joining the commentary booth is Rage F1 and Jamie Ellis. Welcome, guys. I've been... Yeah, what happened? You guys disconnected? Okay, yeah, a couple people got disconnected. Yeah, I think they meant to, but I guess they forgot to flip that switch. Yep. Well, have you guys been following along at all? You guys... Yes. I'm not 100% sure. It didn't pop up on my screen. I would assume drive-thrus are just track limit warnings. Jump start. Jump start, yeah. Probably jump start, yeah. I mean, kind of. It's been like this is all it is with these two. It's always 1-2. So it's gonna be like this all race. There might be a few feints and a few dive bombs here or there, but I think it's gonna pretty much stay the same until someone makes a mistake. Yeah, and then moving back, we got Van Geffen in no man's land, but Dan is reeling him in. Or Robertson. Ooh! Move up! Oh! Oh my goodness. Let's get a replay of that. Alright. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that was a massive dive bomb from Hoogavan. I'm watching the replay, sorry. Alright. Oh gosh. I think he missed a breaking point. P5. Yeah. Brooker is looking very threatening to Robertson right now. Right now, let's see. My timing is completely... Ooh. I'm there. Into the fast... Oh! Oh! I thought he spun. Gosh, if it's those kinds of moves that it's going to decide the lead. Because it's not going to be just, you know, normal racing today. It's either a mistake or a brave move from Schetz. Or maybe strategy in the pits. Yeah. Let's see. Van Geffen is still just in no man's land. That's... Unassailable? Any of them. Okay, let me pull this up. So, we have to figure out who's left as well, yeah. So we got Downing coming in for Sanders. Van Geffen is going to be replaced by Dambrowskis. Kaz Dambrowskis. Delgado will be replaced by Rafistar. Baldinger will be replaced by Pereira. And Dixonhurst will be replaced by... It says Bob the Warrior, but it was like Van de Velker or something is his actual name. So... Yes, then... Exactly. Ooh! Robinson spins! Alright. Let's get an onboard. No, he just spun by himself. Ooh, and then a slight tap at the end there. Ooh, almost hit Ensby too. Alright, I gotta get back. Yeah, it's gonna be on fire, and he's gonna be mad. You guys missed a incident with Yami earlier. He got spun into the wall, which is where most of the damage came from, I believe. That one? Are you watching the stream? Ooh, does try to do the switchback. Yeah. Does the audio mix sound good, Rage, on the stream? There's nothing in this pack. There's just neck and neck. Ooh, sticking his nose in it. Push Delgado wide. So the stream is picking up all the audio? Okay. Because I've been having issues with it not picking up certain audio. So I don't know if it's picking up you guys talking. Yes. Yeah, I think Dan is going to be kicking himself over that spin. He was up in P4, doing really well. That's what I thought. I need to switch Discord. Hang on. Alright. Audio. Okay.
There's one-track action here with Delgado and Emsby as he's still
What about
hunting
now?
to get past the Golden Beast.
Oh, Sanders is lapping.
Oh, James has got a run here on Delgado. On pace. Got better exit.
He's got it.
Yep, he's done it. Oh my god!
Dive
Bruno
bomb.
goes
Stay late and a
up the
dollar short.
inside.
Can he hold it on exit? I think James has got enough here on the inside and does.
Yeah.
Fine, Delgado still having a look at Broylance though. Broylance holds on to 7th place. And yeah, stream audio is fixed now, Fox.
Alright, perfect.
So Shetz and Saunders have now started lapping. So
Yes.
lap one car. Still just 3 temps between them. You feel
Yeah.
even if Shetz does make his way past here, it's just going to end up with Saunders right back on his tail again.
Yeah. They've been nose to tail for most of the races in the series that LRR has been running.
Yes, he might be able to afford to be patient here because with Downing coming in, Shetz might fancy himself a bit more against Downing. Who on his day is every bit as
Or
quick
is he
as
on his
them.
own?
He is racing on his own, I believe.
Ah, okay.
So is fatigued Chet still faster than Downing? How much practice did Downing put in? Because Downing could be right up there with these two.
This is what I said, on his day, Downing is every much as quick as those two boys, but it does put a rabbit into that proverbial hat. So now Brooker has made his way past. He's taken 7 temps out of Geffen already. So that fight for the podium not over by a long shot.
Hugoven's having a fantastic drive today. That pink pig.
Indeed.
And James has already gapped the two behind him.
He's catching down to the back of Hugavine. We'll be up with them shortly, I assume.
Let's check in on the boys in the back here. See if there's anything
Yeah,
going on.
Here's a battle developing between Dixonhurst and Baldinger.
Yep. Two newcomers, I think. There's Baldinger in the other leagues. I don't think Dixonhurst is.
I haven't seen Dixonhurst before. Baldinger I have.
Okay. Ooh, massive damage for Baldinger there. Of course, Baldinger told us that he has less than an hour in the Porsche Cup car, so the fact that he isn't last is probably good news for him.
I think this podium fight's going to come a lot quicker than we were expecting. Either Geffen's made a mistake or Brooker is flying. He's taking Hoovergan and Ensby along with him, but that gap that was 7 seconds is now 4.9. So
Yeah, let
a
me
few more laps like that, and we're going to see potentially a 4-way fight for that podium.
restart my timing real quick because I don't have timing.
After that little incident from Robertson, we would be, if we were still in the race, we would be in between those boys. We'd probably be in 9th, Robertson in 10th, hunting on the back of Delgado.
Shetts might be having another look at Saunders here. No, thinks better of it. They're as close as they have been though, Fox. Worth switching back over.
I'm switching. Alright, I can move this down some.
Have a look into the final turn. Oh, he keeps his nose in again. Thinks better of it. Just doesn't quite look like he's got enough on the brakes to find the way through.
Alright, I got my timing back. I can't restart the Coach Dave's Academy timing now. I need to leave the server to do that. But I have some timing.
Ooh, very squirrely on exit there from Shetts. And I think that status quo back to normal between these two for a while. Dixonhurst is all over the back of Baldinger though.
He's been like that for a couple of laps. I've been keeping an eye.
Yes. 3 battles at the moment are for that 1st and 2nd position. 7th and 8th, Broylance and Delgado, and Baldinger and Dixonhurst in 10th and 11th. Where's the free monitors when you need them?
Ooh, Dixonhurst almost looks like he did a dive. He's thinking about it, but he backed out. A lot better.
Baldinger just had a couple of issues on exit there, yeah.
Yeah. There's surprising variety in these liveries. I was expecting only, because there's not that many livery options. I was expecting a lot of repeats. But everyone looks very unique.
I like Shetts's. From the back it kind of looks like, is it a Union Jack on top?
It is,
Yes.
yeah, Union Jack.
Okay.
The pink, green and blue.
Unfortunately, you missed Constantine. Constantine had the Union Jack, properly colored.
Ensby right on the back of Hoovigan now. Just 4 tenths between them, but Delgado 2 tenths behind Broylance. Which do you watch?
I'm going to watch
All over
James.
the place. Okay.
Let's go. Who's closer? Alright, now let's watch James. James is going on the outside. Taking a wide line through there.
Oh, Delgado and Broylance alongside each other. Delgado gets the better exit and he is up to P8.
See if he can hold it into this turn. Yeah, looks like he should have it for now.
Does indeed.
So, did we
Good
know that
move there.
Brugger's gone up to P3?
No.
No?
Yeah, Brugger's in P3. Van Geffen must have had an incident because he dropped miles back, and now he's in between Brugger and Hoogeveen. So as soon as James can clear Hoogeveen, be up to fighting with Van
I
Geffen.
think he's going to have a look into turn 1 now.
Yep, got eyes on it. It's right on the back of him. Does not go for the dive bomb. Smart play.
So yeah, either Geffen's having some serious issues or he's feeling the pressure of the pack suddenly being released. I think Broylance and Robertson were the cork in the bottles early on. This lot have been released now. Geffen very scrappy out of that turn.
Yeah, now Hoogeveen stopped looking in the mirrors and he's looking forward. He's thinking he can get P4.
Absolutely, he'll want a recovering James Enby out of his mirrors and one more car between them if he can.
The problem is, though, you have a person like Ensby behind you. You know that he's pretty damn speedy, and you just want to, run your own race. It gets to the point where you think, well, how much is it affecting me? Shall I let them past? It might not be worth it. If I let him past, I might even have a go on Van Geffen a little bit easier because he gets caught up in the same kind of battle. So it might work in Hoogeveen's favour just to let James go here and then see if he can take the place from Van Geffen, because I don't think he's going to hold it on pace to the end. We'll see.
He may well do, yeah, absolutely. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Hoogeveen will be able to see Martin getting away as well. Hoogeveen was matching Martin, so, all these boys will still see that podium. Delgado and Broylance issues have meant they're now 6 seconds off the fight, so...
We still don't know how the driver swaps are going to go. There might be some glitches and errors, and who knows?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Might be the first time some of these boys have done that.
indeed. Yeah, just got to make sure that the person you're switching to isn't at lunch. I guess dinner for you guys.
I think if they've got that fact right, they've missed the most basic element of it. I think if it's likely to happen, it will be in the game. Ensby again having a look. He seems to be quicker in the wrong areas here. But he might be close enough down through here, but it'll be brave to do it round a high speed right-hand turn. Oh, Hooligan getting completely out of shape, and Ensby is through.
Oh, the cars are a little like they're shaking. Like gives me a heart attack whenever I see James going, because it's like it looks like he's bumping into them.
Well, unlike the other cars in ATC, these Porsche Cup cars have no traction control, so they won't be able to lean so heavily on the driver aids as they can in the other two championships. So I think that's why they look a little bit more twitchy out there.
Okay. Anyone got eyes on Schetz and Sanders? Make sure that they're not
A
passing.
little bit of a
each other?
gap opening up. No,
Okay.
half a second now. Shet's dropping back slightly. The real fight at the moment is Ensby Geffen, by the looks of things.
Okay.
We have our first pitter. Saint Laurent is in.
Okay.
It's showing 2 laps down though, so I'm wondering if maybe he had already retired. I will let you know if his car comes back out.
Ensby might get him on the straight here. It's tucked right into Geffen.
Biggest braking zone of the track. This is the best place to do it.
Side by side.
Geffen second guess the brakes there. He might run wide. Maybe
Great
it was
defending.
James. Yeah, he did well. Maybe it was James who's slightly cautious on the brakes there.
Ooh,
Up
side
the
by
inside for
side.
James. Nicely done.
Oh, he's still there though.
Oh,
Ooh.
James didn't see him on the outside, and there's dust flying everywhere, and Hoogeveen gets through, unfortunately for...
That's good.
That was a little
Mr.
rude.
Yeah.
Well,
It was the front left tire to the back right tire of James. I don't think he saw him there. I don't think Geffen will be very happy about it. Lucky for James, there's no reviews.
we know driver stewards for this one. That's
There,
yeah. I mean, it's Van Geffen had enough of his car alongside. Schetz and Sanders coming through a lot of traffic here. They are as close as they've been, Fox.
Alright, I'll switch over there. Oh my goodness, yes. Let's hope back marker. Okay, going very wide is Baldinger, not to get wrecked. Yeah, Schetz and Sanders are... Oh, Dixonhurst gets by Baldinger due to lapping. So, but yeah, no, there's no... I mean, they could do stewards or whatever, but this isn't worth points. It's not a championship, so they're not worried about getting penalties and other stuff out. They just said be cautious and don't get involved in incidents if you don't want to be involved. So
I'm with you.
so how many laps do you reckon it's going to take James to pull up to the back of Brooker?
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on their lap times. Brooker has, now he's been released, has got a lot of pace, but that gap is at 2.5 currently.
James is absolutely pushing the shit out of that car. Excuse my language. He's pushing the stuffing out of that car. You see him going wide through turn 4.
he might be doing that, but they matched lap times last time. They were the same lap. We'll see this lap.
He was fighting, wasn't he? So he's got clean air now. This will be a true sense of pace for James.
So Saint Laurent is back out into the race, so that was a scheduled pit stop. So we have our first stopper.
Let's see if he fixed his damage. Yeah, he did. He sat there and fixed damage. So probably smart for the long run. I mean, he had nothing to lose, really.
It's incredible racing from the top two guys. Still nothing in it.
Robertson still in a world of his own. Is Dixonhurst catching up at all? No. And Broylance is right on the back of this battle. So, although Robertson is He's almost a second quicker than some of these guys in this top because they're battling.
James going all off the track there, trying to get the best possible time through the last couple of corners. Let's see what his times are compared to Bruker coming across the line. Then we'll get
6/10,
yes.
6/10 faster.
Yeah, much quicker. So give it 2 laps, maybe 3, and he should be right under his gearbox. Look at him rag the hell out of that car. He's got to be careful there. Doesn't want to take too much out of the tyres. So when do you think some of the top boys are going to pull the trigger on the pit?
Was just coming into my mind there. Yeah, I think as we found out from when we were starting the race, there's only 100 litres in these cars, but I think that is well over an hour still if they wanted to go longer. Likewise, they could pit from now and come in, but I think it's the tyres that will be the limiting factor. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one from the podium battle crew. Brooker, Ensby, Hoovergan, and Van Geffen and Delgado's now and Broylance have now caught that train roughly as well. So could do one of them good to come in early here, get some laps on some fresh tyres and see if they can undercut them. Likewise, going later into the race is going to give them much fresher tyres on a lower fuel load. So any time from now, I would expect.
Do you think anyone's going to two-stop it?
No need at all, no. Just be shooting yourself in the foot there. The drop off from the tyres towards the end of the stint is going to be a sort of second at most, maybe 2.
Alright, let's see the gap this lap. Brooker is half a second is the difference in their lap time. So James is going to be right on the back of him by the end of this lap. We'll see how easy the overtake is. I should say how hard.
Well, James is being fairly cautious with these guys. He knows he's got the pace, so it's
James
likely
got a
to
lot
be
of damage
patient.
on that car already from rubbing. You noticed from the outside,
rubbing,
front
and then,
bumper and sides have all got little snaps on.
Yes.
Yeah,
he crashed into the wall. Got spun
did he?
out.
Okay.
Yeah, he spun out. He got hit on that side. And got hit into the wall pretty early on by Yami Hirazawa.
So he technically would probably have a couple of tenths, maybe even a second in the bag.
Oh, and Robertson spins again at the final corner.
No.
He's not having a good race, unfortunately, after some good early showing.
Ensby up the inside of Bruker.
Oh.
Can hold it round the corner,
quicker.
and he gets it done. He's into third. There you go. So it took a lap, not 2, not 3. It was 1 after we called it. And James is up to third. He's on the podium, boys, from last to the podium. Well done, James.
He has some real pace here. He's lapping a couple of attempts slower than the leaders, if that. So
His
Now he's
gap,
been released.
yeah, his gap to the leaders is 1 minute. So there's obviously a pit stop left to do. There's switching of drivers, so he's not out of it yet. So we'll have to see how it develops.
If, say, when Downing goes in the car and he's not off the mark quick, James might be able to gather some time on him. Maybe.
Especially, I mean, Downing's going to probably be going in cold after sitting waiting for an hour watching.
Yeah, because he
Sanders
can't
go
quit
around.
and come back in. Yeah.
So
he can. He can go out and do some practice.
no.
No, you're not allowed to rejoin the race, Jamie. That's what happened to me and you. Can't rejoin the race when it started.
Oh, of course, they put that rule back on, haven't they?
Yes.
That's why
Normally
we
you
can't get
can in
back in.
ACC. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I'm going to keep an eye on the timing screens. I haven't actually seen the gap between the front 2 and the rest yet. I would imagine it's pretty substantial by this point, though.
It's 1 minute. According to my timing. I mean, we can pull up the track map right now. So they're going through turn 1, and James is in the hairpin. So it's
so
nearly
that
a
is
half lap.
It's a non-entity in case, unless there's an issue with the front 2, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still an hour and 8 minutes, not even halfway over yet.
Oh, absolutely.
Things are
So
definitely
close.
spacing out now, except for the top two, of course.
Yep, close battle on track is 6th and 7th, Van Geffen and Delgado currently.
Didn't Delgado pass Van Geffen? So I guess he got back passed.
No, Brooker, Ensby and Hoovergan have got past Van Geffen. I think Delgado
That
got
was
past
Broylance.
Broylance, yeah, and has now caught this pack, so he's got some decent pace.
Yeah, a bit surprising with Geffen starting out in no man's land, really. Seems like he was going to have an easy P3 today, but he's been falling off the pace.
Yeah, he's picked it back up now. I think he just had one of those difficult few laps, probably got too much heat into the tyres. If I was him, I would look to maybe stop a bit earlier than the rest of the guys here and gain some pace back.
So, the only driver that has pitted is Justin St. Laurent still. James
Robertson makes a mistake again on the final corner.
Oh dear, he is not having a good afternoon, is he?
No. Yeah, he typically, as he likes to say, he gets into his own head, overthinks his driving style, and so he actually says that he needs people constantly talking to him so that he can not focus on driving. He'll drive faster. So.
Maybe he should try listening to music.
Oh, yeah, that's a good. Well, he's also streaming it, so.
Yeah, all good for the stream then.
Oh, shit's going round the outside of Saunders.
What?
Oh, again, Saunders holds it.
Saunders is like a masterclass of defensive driving.
They are just so closely matched that they can't seem to find a way past each other.
I've always said that the only measure that we have of Shet's currently is in a KTM and an NSX, and he's still pretty speedy in the normal LRR, sorry. So now we're in equal machinery. Shet's might be able to actually show his true form of pace, which is quite good. I think we're seeing it now. So
he's a super speedy boy. How competitive he is in just those two cars on their own.
Yeah, what, the Honda and the KTM, like two of the least competitive?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
I think he purposely chose them for that reason.
Exactly. I think the NSX, he's still competitive in the KTM, unfortunately. Oh, Saunders runs wide. Shit's clattered the inside curb, but...
No, the KTM, he's definitely not on the pace.
He was the first 3 or 4, I think, as everyone else has got up to speed with those cars now.
Yeah.
Because we were battling in Brands Hatch together quite well. We had a nice little battle out in Paul Ricard as well.
As Robertson pulls into the pits, presumably for his one and only stop, and most likely a lot of repairs after the last clatter into the barrier I saw from him.
I didn't think about that. Do you think James will repair?
So is Dixonhurst. Dixonhurst is in.
We're right into that window now. I think he will. He'll give him that little bit extra. I think he's
Ooh, down the inside of Shet's. Down the inside. Oh. Gosh. There's so many moves. It's like you just can't get past Sanders without taking him out.
Oh, Saunders goes a bit wiggly.
Oh, there's attack. There is attack. Saunders is round. Shet's is going to wait for him. Ever the gentleman.
Let's look
Saunders
at that.
hasn't got the car going. There we go. He couldn't get the car going. He was in a high gear. And Shet's has waited for him. That's good to see.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a
Saunders
minute.
got squirrely out of that corner. Didn't get the power down, and Shet's did. They've been going so close between each other.
Yeah, there was
didn't see him.
contact. Shet's did hit him.
Yeah, I tried to get him.
There was a slowdown in that middle of the corner, so Shet's didn't see it, and then the contact happened because of the overspeed. The Saunders got a little bit out.
I think Sanders is letting him by.
He's got his hazards on.
Oh, does he? Is it hazard? No, he's got his blinker on.
He's got his blinker to say go by.
Well, they look like hazards from the back, and he pits, so he will have a bit of damage.
Maybe he was putting his hazards on to say I'm pitting. So this releases Shet's then to put in some real pace, so we might be able to see
How
some
much
raw
did
pace
Insby
from
get
him.
out of that?
Can't quite see at the moment. He's still coming over the midsection, so not as much as you would hope.
No, he's he's not. We'll see if Sons actually gets past him. Very quick pit stop there.
I would probably say 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. He got on him there.
That was a very quick pit stop from Sanders.
Did he not do anything?
Done. Change the
No, no,
tyre.
he was. I thought it was at least 30 seconds to do so. And that seemed to be
Maybe it was a mistake.
well under 10 seconds.
Maybe he's tried to penalize himself, or maybe he didn't select all he needed to for the pit stop.
It was a very quick decision to come into the pit, though, wasn't it? He might not have everything on the MFD. I thought we might have someone like James jump in the pit then, but no, unfortunately not. Schetz goes slightly wide. No one else going into the pit. What about Hugaveen? No. Geffen?
So Sanders hasn't done his mandatory pit stop because he's still got a 1 next to his name. So that was just damage, I think. I think you're right. I don't think he had it set up. So I think this is handing it. Also, Sanders' teammate is Downing, isn't it?
Yes.
You
And he
should
did
have
not
seen
get in the
Downing
car.
come out. He didn't.
Exactly.
He's still got
So-
blinker on.
It was just damage there. Very strange decision.
Sanders going through the
Stop
track
and go
to the
for a
right.
pit. Speed. He's sped in the pit. Someone sped. Who's
Pereira.
won? Pereira. So that was coming
Aldinger.
out of the pit.
Yep.
So he went up to second gear.
Yep. Classic second gear. Easy to
So
do.
the gap now between Sanders and Ensby is 27 seconds.
Oh,
So-
James.
And Schetz is in.
Schetz is in. All right. Let's see if
See what
there's
happens.
any issues here.
So Sanders should clear him comfortably here, but of course we'll have one more stop to do.
There you go. Sanders goes past now. I think. No, it's not. Someone else's back marker. Ignore me.
Let's see where Sanders is. Sanders is coming in. They're both in.
So it was a mistake from Sanders, so we should see Downing get in the car now. So disaster for Sanders. You say it was such a late call, we must not have had it set up.
Let's see who's coming in. Is
Oh,
it
Brooker spins. Brooker spins into the barrier.
James is coming around the pit straight right now. Is he gonna take the lead?
Well, he will, because he's still got to stop.
I know, but I don't know if Schetz is gonna get out before him.
Going to be close, but I think Schetz is
I think
just
yeah,
gonna
Schetz has the
clear him.
lead. That is 4 position, James. You can pass him.
He's still got a pit, so it's not for position.
I mean, it is 4 position, but yeah, he has to pit. But
So Bruker has pitted, presumably.
Sanders
Say
is
just span.
He span, yeah, into the barrier.
Downing is in the car now, so I think that was the issue. They didn't select it properly.
And Pereira is doing his stop and go right now. Got some other people in the pit too. Hirozawa comes in. Obviously Bruker, we said
If you had to
before.
guess the name Yami Hirozawa, what nationality would you guess?
Japanese, wouldn't you?
Not Canadian?
Definitely not. We could be Canadian Japanese, couldn't he?
that's what I'm saying. Is Canadian. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I'm
There's
very
a lot
curious.
of a lot of relationships with the Americans and Canadians with the Japanese after World War
People move
II.
all over the world now. It's
I know.
Yeah.
It was
can
just
be
yeah.
anybody.
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Same thing. Isn't Enzo Benvenuti? Isn't he English, not Italian?
Who's Enzo Benvenuti? Sorry.
He's
One
like
of the
always.
drivers in the
He's
league.
always in like the top 3.
Okay.
He was on holiday for a while, so he's missed quite a few races. So it's
Oh,
fairly
the new guy who
close
came in last week.
fight developing between Delgado and Van Geffen. He was in the first few races.
Ah, okay.
He was on holiday, I think.
Yeah, he had a acting gig, so he had to do some traveling around Europe during COVID, which doesn't seem
Someone
like
very slow on the pit entry there.
That was
Hugaveen.
Hugaveen.
Delgado pitting
Delgado's
as well.
pitting.
That's been a very bad pit entry for Hoovergan. He's going to lose a lot of time there.
Did Robertson do his pit? Yeah, I think he did.
He did, yeah.
So it looks like he's going to overtake, or is he a lap down to these guys? Yeah, I guess he's a lap down.
I think so, yes. He did have quite a few spins. It'd be interesting to see. There was a close enough gap between Delgado and Hoovigan there that if Delgado stopped on his marks a bit quicker, he might jump him here. Who's next on track will be Brooker. So it'd be interesting to see, because Brooker had a bit of damage to do, didn't he? So he was ahead of these boys.
He's 31.
Oh, this is going to be close. Delgado is going to be ahead. So by stopping on his marks a bit quicker, he's jumped Hoovigan there.
Indeed, and Brooker's coming into the last turn, so he's behind all these people. Did he have a
So that damaged him, yeah. That damage has cost him 3 positions to Delgado, Hoovigan and Broylance then. So Ensby and Van Geffen the only 2 to pit.
Assuming that everyone put the right amount of fuel in.
True.
So yeah, it seems like Schetz is going slowly. Does he have an issue? Or is he waiting for Downing?
I think he's waiting for Downing. I think he wants a bit of competition here.
Well, you remember it is a fun race.
That's going to give it to James, is it not?
This is going to bring James into the fight as well, yeah.
Yes, he was about 29 seconds behind Downing.
So James is in the lead currently because obviously the pits.
Oh my
He
god.
said he
No,
was going to go
24
long.
seconds.
Van Geffen's in the
He said he
pits.
was gonna go long.
So it's just James. So let's see where this track map. Delgado and Hoovigan are fighting here. I'll switch over to them.
Yeah, so Van Geffen was just ahead of Delgado and Hoovigan, wasn't he?
Yes.
So Chet's still waiting for Downing. And he probably spots him right about now, and he's on the power. There we go,
So-
they're back up.
So I
As Downing
presume just
overtakes
coming
him.
into the final corner now.
Delgado's
is that
going back into the
battle.
pits. The mistake in the pits,
Oh.
apparently.
Van Geffen and Hoovigan. It's going to be Hoovigan.
People are getting sloppy on the pit stops.
Stan
There you go.
Briskus now in the car.
They didn't get the driver selected. Oh, Jamie, we
Oh.
would have been so much better at this. Where would we have been? Oh.
Yeah, Rafastar, you're right. Rafastar needs to go into the Delgado car.
Oh dear, disaster for them after a great recovery from Delgado after a pretty tricky start. So that's going to leave, yeah. So Hoovigan and Dan
James
Briskus
is still out.
still fighting for 4th.
Let's see
So
where.
how long is the pit just for a tyre change and fuel? Roughly.
I don't know how long this pit lane is. That's the
Let's
question
just-
mark. For the fuel and stuff, it's 30. So they're normally about 50 seconds.
So James is going to be right on these boys. If that's the case, he's going to be coming in the next lap or two. Has to.
Well,
Really.
he was 24 seconds behind Downing.
It's 27 seconds ahead at the moment.
Okay, so it's going to
28 now.
It's going to be a pretty similar gap then. Still going to be 20 odd seconds, but
I know, but Chet's and Downing just had to wait for ages, didn't they? Oh, I guess you're talking about Downing, aren't you?
Downing didn't. Yeah, it's still not enough, but they're going to be an awful lot closer than they were.
Yes. So I guess Chet's just wanted some competition. They let Downing by.
Well, I think he probably felt bad because considering it was his tap that probably caused Sanders to want to pit to take the damage, and then obviously got the driver call wrong. So
I
probably felt
reckon.
in some way responsible.
I reckon they're in the same comms, you know, and they had a little chat. So I'll wait for you.
More than likely, yeah. Gentleman racing up the front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get your wing back down, lads.
Very unlike the SSX race last Friday.
Well, I thought it was brilliant between Polecat and Jamie.
That's what I'm saying. That was the only gentlemanly part of it. Everything else was dive bomb city.
Chet's right on the back of Downing now.
So Robertson's troubles weren't actually as bad as he would have thought. Obviously that problem with Delgado and the driver swap for Rafastar has gained him back another position, so he's now up to P8. I believe is a further lap down from the guys ahead of him.
So just to put salt in the wounds again. So if we didn't have this incident, we'd probably have a chance at being right up there in the top 5 or 6, because a lot of people had problems, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were with that group behind the top 3. So.
C'est la vie. Is James pulling away at this point from Downing and Chet's?
He's pulling away from Downing. Downing's struggling to get up to speed here.
No. James's last lap was 1:45.5, and Downing's last lap was 1:48.8.
Okay, I thought I saw
1:44.8.
that. I thought I saw that gap at 30 seconds. It was 28 the lap before, but that might have been.
Yeah, it's coming down now. So if anyone could get onto James and tell him to come and pit, now's about the time. Otherwise, he's lose pace.
See if Robertson right out of the way. Doesn't want to get involved in the top battle. Even though he is in voice chat with James. Could have done him a solid.
Well, no, you're being lapsed. You get out of the way.
I know.
You can't block people.
Ooh, James is in.
He is indeed.
Let's see if he repairs that damage.
He's in as soon as Ray's jumped in his shout. I wonder what happened then. I would have gone a bit longer if I could have with the fuel there for James, but fresher tyres would have been better. He's going to be quite a distance off no matter what happens. But
yeah, I think he's going to have to repair that damage to have competitive enough times to catch them. That's going to increase the gap. I'm assuming you just told James to pit.
Definitely not.
I would have stayed out a bit longer if I was him, but
He was losing time.
Quick, go tell him.
yeah, but you
Tell
want
him to
those
stay
tyres
out.
at the end.
All right, let's see where he's going to come out. Let's see where Hugoven is.
It's got not much odds, man. He's spent the extra 10 minutes out.
Hugoven is going
I know, but his time is going to be similar to those two ahead of him. He's so far off, he needs a big offset, and the only way he's going to do that is by having much fresh tyres. These are going to be about the same
Battle's
age. So.
heating up front. Hugoven might get James.
He's doing his damage.
Yes. Has to. If he wants to be competitive, he has to repair that damage. Ooh, how much damage? Okay, he's out. James is out. Okay, so he's in P3. Looks like the gap is 37-ish seconds, so...
That damage hurt him. Let's keep an eye on his lap time, see if he can chase up now, because he's got a fresh car. Remember, he was still on pace with them with a damaged car. So there's your offset, Jamie.
Yeah, he's going to need a mistake from the front two guys. There's no way he can catch them on pace.
Let's see lap times come in. Let's not call it yet.
He's got 50 minutes. He's a second quicker.
Okay.
How many laps is that? It's roughly what? Let's just say 25 laps. If he's a second quicker a lap, you could probably reel him in with a mistake.
I mean, yeah, this close of racing, there's a possibility of a mistake, of course. Of course, Bob the Warrior is now in, who's Vandervalk.
Is that the German version of the Hulk?
I have no clue. His first name's Joel, so that doesn't sound very German to me.
Oh, maybe he's Dutch.
Might be on this list. Let me see. Bob the Warrior is Canadian. A lot of Canadians in this race.
It might be worth keeping on the Broylance-Brooker battle at the moment. They've got 2 lapped cars ahead of them. Actually, no. Sorry, Dombriskus is position ahead.
Ooh.
So, 3 of them trying to get past the lap car that's not being very compliant here.
This is what Hirazawa is being a little bit...
He's trying to cut back under there. Briskus has cleared though. Next up,
Broylance is flashing very angrily.
Well, Hirazawa's not looking at blue flags at all, is he? He's just racing his own race.
I mean, to be fair, no reviews.
Now he pulls out of the way. But does he let off? Yeah, it looks like he is, but I don't know if he's going to let Brooker past.
Oh,
my God, he's racing.
what is he doing?
Well, that's very stupid.
What a back marker. Oh,
And
oh!
he's
Contact.
let's
Well,
get a replay of that. Let's go into
Brooker
the
a
chase
chance
cam.
here. The angle's not quite right, not enough braking into that corner, but he might get a good run down here.
Yeah, went to a spin and then he just bumped him off track.
I mean, there was nothing that Brulance did wrong there.
Yeah.
No.
But it's helped Bruker to get up to the back of him now, so... but it has also helped Dambriskius get a little bit of a gap.
Indeed.
Yeah, Bruker was already all over the back of Brilliance. As you say, it's that gap in front that's given Dambriskius a bit of breathing space.
I think we may have missed it, but Pereira's got huge damage on that car. So he's gone into the wall at some point.
Or did they not
only
repair it?
Oh, yeah, that front nose is
don't
about to
think
come
so.
off.
I don't know, because he would have repaired it if he came in, so... Well,
I mean, they might have made a mistake in the pits.
I mean, he looks slow.
How far is Robertson off of the top battle here?
Hasn't come up with his split yet. His
So
time.
unfortunately, James's last lap around about a second off the front two guys. So if he
Well,
had a scrappy lap, but we'll see what he does. Might be
Still
the tyres
got,
coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like Robertson is about half a lap back on Brooker and Boylan's battle.
Yeah, that damage has just happened for Pereira because James's car is brand spankers new, so Pereira did go into the wall then at some point.
Well, yeah, but he could have gotten damage. Like they could have not repaired the damage because they had damage before. But yeah,
Yeah, that would probably be a bit silly, but yes, possibly. I would have thought they would have repaired
Schetz
damage.
has taken the lead from Downing.
He has. Jesus Christ. What was that?
What did you see?
Just a massive gunshot.
Oh, what? IRL.
That came through the headphones.
what?
You okay, Fox?
Yeah, what? Why would you assume the gunshot would be in America?
No idea. To be fair, I'm half a mile from Croydon, so could well have been here.
Did none of you guys hear that?
No,
Nope.
that might
Shut the
be
front door.
that might be real life for you, man.
Wasn't a firework, was it? They've been going off.
No,
non-stop the last
maybe
few
it was
days.
something that came through my mic. Literally just said, and Schetz has got past. Bang!
Interesting. Are you streaming? It probably would show
Yeah,
up on
I'm
your
gonna,
stream.
gonna clip it.
Interesting.
So now Schetz got past. Does look like he has the pace on Downing them. So it's all
Yeah.
going to be about the lap times between Downing and Ensby.
Yeah, Ensby might
Damn.
be able to get a P2 here.
Well, it's going to be a very tall order, but last lap round then. So he has found that pace, 44.4, his fastest lap of the race. Downing's last lap of 45.5. So we'll keep
Hugevin
an eye
is
on.
in a land of his own right now. Just enjoying a nice, lovely stroll.
What fudge was that?
Yeah, I think it's Dan Brisket's. Oh, Rooker and Broylan's alongside. No, I thought they were. I think Dan Brisket's obviously new driver in. He is lapping a little bit slower than these guys around. I think that's what allowed Hoovergan to drive away a little bit, and Broylance and Brooker are in a fight between themselves. So
Yep.
if they stop scrapping, they might be able to go after fifth here.
Oh my goodness, Schetz just put in a 143.
Well, it's been
Fresh
released.
tyres.
It's been released. The beast has been released. I sent you the clip of me having a brain fart.
Did it actually... Was there a sound?
Mate, this just literally sounds like someone shot a gun, like, in my room. But it came through my headset. It came through the headset. Didn't come through real life.
Might have
Interesting.
been like an audio thing with the jack or something.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even putting any pressure on it. It's weird.
I'll listen to it after.
Yeah, no, you don't have to listen to it now. It's funny.
So yeah, I guess
Either that
now
or my
the...
graphics card blew up.
Looks like Downing doesn't have the pace for Schetz.
No, he has improved into the 44s though, so 44.9. James just gone across the line again, a 44.5, so that delta not quite as good as it needs to be for Ensby to make any kind of meaningful progress. But still worth giving a go.
Yep. Still a great recovery from, what was it, P14 or whatever at the beginning of this race for
He
Yes,
was
James?
last, wasn't he? He was plumb last at one point, wasn't he?
he started last, yeah, because he didn't get a quality time in. But I think there were a few people that didn't get a quality time, so...
But he had to pit. That's what I mean. He did a drive-through, so he
Oh,
was
the
plumb
driver,
last.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, apparently you can leave the server if you're driver too. Because Chris wasn't in the car whenever he went to pit, and that's why they had to pit again.
Oof.
So,
I was going to say, I could leave and rejoin when Rage was in there. It was
Yeah.
only once he left I couldn't.
Yep. Such a shame on the disconnect there. You guys would have been in the top 5 for sure.
Wow. Maybe.
Ooh, very slidey for James.
Yeah, I'm watching it too.
His-
Oh, almost lost it again.
He's pushing.
He is. Oof.
that curb wants its life back. Well, it's what we know that this is all that James can do. Really, is just go flat out all the time. But he's got a car closer behind him than he does in front, so just needs to bring it home here, I think.
Yeah, Hugerman just matched his lap time too. So, I mean, he's not out of this fight either. You're right.
So Brooker has had a spin somewhere. Whether there's an incident between him and Broydance, they were a few tenths apart. Martin now a good 5 or 6 seconds back.
Ooh, Robertson behind Vandervalk. So that switched at some point. Looks like Robertson picked up some damage, so maybe an incident. Looks like everyone's just kind of settling in. Not too many people on fast laps. They're just kind of happy where they're at. Wonder if fatigue is starting to set in.
I think it is. You've got the likes of... Well, no, Hoovigan's still bang on his pace from before his stop. Broydance has lost a fair bit. But, I don't know if we can spot any... Doesn't seem to be any damage on Broydance's car. And it doesn't appear to be on Brooker's either, so it wasn't an incident between the two.
Ooh, spin for Brooker. As soon as I went to him. Commentator's curse, apparently. Ooh, right into the wall. Wonder if there's some rear damage there.
He's struggling a bit.
Wonder if that's going to bring Vandervalk into play.
It's very unusual for Martin. I wonder if there's a small possibility that he didn't change his tyres in the stop. Or forgot to.
He has to. So here, we can actually
Oh,
debunk
that's a
that
fair
now.
point. That's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah, no, everyone has done their stop. Yes. I don't see anyone that hasn't, so. Everyone has changed tires. Whether they put the right fuel in, that's another story.
And now on our sole commentating outing, we get to experience what endurance commentators must feel like when they get to past the sort of first hour and a half of the race and things are starting to settle down a bit. Some fairly big gaps between them. Downing, Schetz now dropped Downing by just over 5 seconds. Gap between Ensby and Hoovigan is back up to 16. Developments potentially would happen for 4th, 5th and 6th, so Dan Briscoe's just 4.5 behind Hoovigan and Broylance 4.5 back from the Briscus. So still not over for that 4th place. One mistake for one of those 3 could change the picture there. Brooker's antics. He's still 33 seconds ahead of Van der Valk. Robertson is probably the closest battle on the track at the moment then, just under a second behind Van der Valk.
Yep. So yeah, Van der Valk did get past Robertson, but he doesn't seem to be pulling away very quickly, if at all. Yeah, in fact, Robertson was 0.8 quicker last lap, so still not over for P8.
No, not at all. He's just made a few too many mistakes today, Robertson. He's definitely got the pace. His lap times are now the same as sort of 4th, 5th and 6th on the track, so pace is there again. Just the consistency. Been a couple of issues today.
Yeah, exactly. He was right up there. He ran P3 for a while there, and then, or was he ever P3? I think he might have spun out before he passed Van Geffen.
I think he was P3 very early on, yeah.
So definitely has some podium pace in him, but not today, unfortunately, unless there's some major issues. We'll see if Shet slows up here for Downing, but I don't think that's the case.
I think he's been released now.
Yep, he waited for Downing, had a little battle with him, beat him fair and square, and now he's satisfied with himself, so he's just gonna bring it home.
Exactly. He's done a great job there. And right on the pace. Stuck with Saunders all the way through the first stint until that slight bit of contact. So, James in 3rd, still 4 or 5 tenths quicker a lap than Downing most of the time, but I don't think it's going to bring that gap down.
No, I think he just got held up too much, had too much damage. It's been keeping that car nice and clean though, so it's not...
Yeah, I mean, when you consider, obviously both the guys up front have held up quite a lot, but that drive-through worth probably around 30 seconds, which is that gap currently.
Yeah. Yeah, just an unfortunate day, some incidents early on. I mean, Ensby did make it up to like P6, P5 before having to take the drive-through, and then that brought him, undid all the work he did. So
Got Robertson and Van der Valk fighting right now on track.
We'll switch over to them then. Let's go into the...
And Pereira making another stop as well.
Yeah, it's that damage maybe, it's just too much. Oh, roundabout going deep.
So not going to be much chance through this fast right-hander, just see if he can pick up a little bit of time, stay in the toe.
Oh!
Or go for a bit of Tokyo drift.
Holds it.
He does.
He's really struggling with the rear end of that car, isn't he? Can't get the balance right.
Well, it's the no traction control on these. It's quite different experience for ACC. Oh, running a little wide keeps it on board. I was going to say, just wanted to keep a bit closer for this heavy braking zone. Probably one of only 2 real overtaking places on the track. Again, if you can keep it neat and tidy, up to the final corner, he'll have a good run down into turn 1. Much better through there.
It's a little squirrely on exit though.
Oh,
Ooh, goes wide.
Wide though, and that's going to allow him through.
I bet it's on the inside.
Dive back down the inside. Gonna have a run into turn 1 though.
Got the swatching.
Will he go inside or out? He picks the inside. Robertson covers it off
Ooh, contact!
very late.
Oh,
Oh,
Luckily.
was that move in the braking zone from Robertson? Very late.
Let's see.
Van der Velde could have moved to the outside though. There was time there, I think. He could have moved.
I think he could have. I agree. It was. It did look like moving in the braking zone a little bit though.
Hmm.
But there was absolutely no reason that Van der Valk had to run into the back of him. It was early enough.
He could have just released those brakes and just got the front end in, moved to the right hand side, and kind of just worked his way around, I guess. But maybe.
Yeah, I think
the
a racing
moment.
instant really.
Hmm.
Considering they've stayed the same way around.
Wonder if there's any damage to the car. Very
Have a
light.
little look for you. Little scuff maybe. I know he had a little bit of damage already, but there's only a tiny little ruffle on the Pirelli sticker, but I think he'll be alright.
So, Dan Bruskus has really put the laps in. He's dropped Broylan's by 9.5 seconds now, but he's only 2.2 behind Hooligan, so a fight brewing between those two.
Coming down to the last quarter of this race. Been a long day.
So going from the top 9 that we've been focusing on most of the time then, Rafstar, who took over from Delgado after they had the pit stop incident with them switching, is in P10. Hirazawa in P11, Sentler on P12 as Rafstar goes very wide.
And he's in the barrier. Slight tap, it
Yes.
should be alright. And he gets past. Does he? No, I think he's okay.
His ears were burning there.
Commentator's curse.
Indeed. I do apologise, Rafstar.
See if that.
He had enough of a gap behind him, it's not hurt him too much. Hopefully that damage won't affect the performance too much as Perrier goes for another little spin on the start finish straight.
Oh,
into the
gee.
barrier. And I think he's considering parking it there. He's back
He
into
has.
the pits. Yeah.
He
Yep.
has, yeah.
What is that? Our fourth retirement today?
I believe we did start with 16, so that will be number 4, yeah.
So, a couple disconnects. I think that's our first actual retirement. I think
Dan
Chaudhary
Briscoe,
retired. Go ahead.
Dan Briscoe has got almost into a second now. Second and a half behind Hugavine.
Yep, that's not going to be long.
Is anyone else seeing a sparkling car on Dan Bruskus? Is it just me?
Sparkling car, what do you mean?
Like it's sparkling, like there's like flashes of light all over it.
That's definitely you.
Yeah, the roof's a little bit reflective, but it's not too bad.
Oh my gosh, it's like super sparkly. I might be going blind, guys. I don't know.
Can you feel the left side of your face?
Yeah. Oh, it's Vandervoort. Spins.
Vandervalk.
Oh,
just ahead
heavy
of
as well.
St. Laurent and Ensby.
Ooh, let's see if we can get a view of this. Yep, he just looks like he did it on his own.
Yep. Just lost the back end there.
Downing is getting through the lap traffic here. Nowhere near Schatz. Schatz is crossing the finish line, and it's, yeah.
So,
It's,
Dan Bruskus and Hoovigan's the battle we want to be on right now. 4 tenths of a second now between them. Dan Bruskus laps just over a second quicker than Hoovigan last lap round, so just needs to pick his spot, you would think.
Looking at the two cars, Dan Briscoe looks so much better on the on the application of the throttle after the apex, whereas Hugovine's kind of hesitating.
Well, Hugavine has got some damage on the side of his car as well, so don't know if something's happened there.
Gosh, this looks like Schetz is just flying away from the field. Oh, there's someone in the pits up there?
Someone has just pitted.
So-
It's Van der Valk after that spin, then probably getting that damage completed. Rafstar is the next car on track, about 20 seconds behind, so he will most likely lose 9th position.
Let's see, where is Rafstar? Yeah, he just passed him.
Rafstar goes past, yep.
The next
And it's
car
56.
is 56. So 56 is coming through the Crocodiles.
Is that what they're called?
Yep. Now he's going through the fast right-hander, the Cheetah, up to the
Of course,
last
South
corner.
Africa.
Oh, I'm not sure if you're being serious now.
No, he is. He is.
The
I thought
Ingwe?
it was gold.
South Africa, of course it is.
And looks like if he's not a lap down, he's about to overtake Van der Valk.
Where's he going to overtake him? The Pelican?
No? I think he's a lap down. Yeah, I think 10th is a lap down, so he's just unlapped himself to Van der Valk. Of course, is Van der Valk retiring?
I don't know, it was an awful lot of damage. Wouldn't surprise me if that's upwards of a minute of damage. It was a pretty hard hit into the wall.
Oh no, that was for position for 56. It just updated.
Yep, so here is our up into P10.
So we got Justin St. Laurent coming around the last corner, the Ingwe, as they say. That's literally the name of the corner. I have no clue if that's how you pronounce it. And he's passed him
That's
too.
the noise they make when it goes past the pit entrance. No, Ingwe! Ingwe!
All right, now that we're banned in South Africa.
What? How's that? How's that offensive? They speak English in South Africa. And Afrikaans.
You would surprise me with that comment.
All right, Van der Valk is now in P12. Robertson is still, he's still a long way away from Brooker.
Finally seen that gap between Ensby and Downing. It's 39 seconds, so
It's coming
it has
down,
come
but
down. It's not enough. Dambruscus is now all over Hoogven then.
Hugavagavin, then. That's fine.
Hugavin.
mate. You got it right the first time. That's his new name. Hugavagavin.
Hoogven.
Hugeveen.
Again, just needs to follow him through here.
see if there's any
Stay
more.
close through the third gear left-hander. Well, use a second there. And he will have a... Oh no. 2 more corners to go before the heavy braking zone. So again,
He goes past
tuck it in,
Ostrich
get a better exit.
into Giraffe.
And he has got that bit of better exit, a bit wide for Hoogveen.
Hard
Will.
braking down into Crocodile. I don't know if these are real.
No, that is actually Elcon?
What?
No. Le Coupe. Le Cop.
Ah, bless you.
Now it's down into the mine shaft.
Okay,
Now-
you're
This is the Crocodiles.
This is the
the mine
Crocodile.
shaft.
The mine shaft.
I'm not
A
joking.
Mine.
They call it a mine.
A mine.
So again, Dambruscus just wants to keep itself
Oh my
close.
gosh,
I
what
don't
the
think
heck?
you want to.
Holy crap, what the heck picture did that? What?
Don't think
Didn't
you want to
copy
dive into the
properly at
final
all.
corner. Just get as good an exit as you can. Use that slipstream on the long straight down to turn 1. Again, will he pick inside or out?
Just
We've
look it up on
seen
Wikipedia.
various levels of success today.
Fox is desperately trying to get us these corner names. Oh, he covers off the inside nicely there. Hugaveen says, yep, you can try it if you want, mate, but you're going to get my rear bumper if you do.
Yep, that beautiful middle of the road line where
Yeah.
you've got just enough to move either way to block the car behind. And you're going to have to be incredibly brave. He has got an issue on the
Yeah.
exit though.
Yeah.
It's not
Dan
really an
Brosbio's
overtaking
puppy.
corner through here though. He's going to have to be brave.
Bravery
And he
and
is.
buckets.
If we can actually Just let off a little bit there.
There you go. There's
All
the...
goes wide. Just keeps it together. The apex doesn't matter so much through there then.
Oh, Hugerman got past while I wasn't
He did.
looking. But
That is what we were commentating on, Fox.
I had it on stream. I had it on stream.
Fox was showing us the names, but that picture is literally smaller than my future.
That's pretty bloody small.
Oh my goodness.
It is actually called Mineshaft.
Gosh.
Sorry, I'm searching the image for Google.
Hang on. Just gotta... No.
I think James is going to struggle, isn't he, to get to the back of Downing. I don't think it's going to happen, is it?
I don't think that gap has changed pretty much at all. He was about 38, 39 when they came out of the pits, and it is still the same. Actually edging up towards 40 as Downing gets himself up to speed now. It was always going to be a tall ask for Ensby. So Downing 45.4 last time around. Schetzer 45.7, so probably just into bringing that car home mode.
Sounds like a good mode.
Yep, it's otherwise known as the Brexit Boys Endurance mode.
Yeah. The closest battle is Dambruscus and Hugerman still.
I think it's just Dambruscus pulling away, unfortunately. Good race for Hugveen, though, up into 5th. He's the real, I guess, the kind of like second set of winners. I guess Dambruscus has done pretty well. Who was in Dambruscus's car? Has he always been in?
No, it was Van Geffen.
Van Geffen. Okay, so Van Geffen obviously maybe holding up a little bit. Dambruscus is reasonably speedy. They've held position obviously because Van Geffen was 3rd. He dropped 4th from Ensby, and he's now just got dropped 3rd to 4th with Ensby. He's just got 4th back again from Hugeveen. So not too much harm done. They lost the podium, but I think with James in the track, it's pretty hard push to keep that.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was the couple of laps in the middle of the race that Van Geffen just lost all the time to the mid guys. He was quite clear, and British has actually done a really good job in recovering those positions. Obviously with some antics around for Brooker and Broylance at some points. And of course Delgado was in that fight until the pit stop error as well. So how are we looking on the fastest lap front then? So Schetz a 43.8.
He's the only one.
Yep, Downing, or it would have been Saunders, I think, that put the lap in, was a 44.0. And James a 44.4, so
Yeah, I really think
fairly
there's
close between those guys.
no context to Schetz today, unfortunately.
And then, yeah, all of the midfield guys pretty much down to... Oh no, even Robinson's in the 45s. Delgado's in the 45s, so it's an incredibly close midfield battle from 4th down to about 9th. They were all within a couple of tenths of each other for their fastest laps.
Yep. It's a shame that James didn't get a lap in. Would have been nice to see a 3-way battle for the lead. Might have lasted a little longer, I don't know. Maybe would have ended in tears sooner.
Yeah, I'm not sure there would have been as much of after you, sir. No, after you. That there were with Shetz and Saunders if James had been in on that fight. But yeah, was still great to see those two guys go head to head for say it was almost an entire stint.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like neck to neck for the entire time. Of course, that's how it's always been with these two, especially like Zandvoort. They were even like whenever they pit, it seems like they always come out. They have insane pace together, and obviously Sanders decided to bring in a teammate, didn't want to do the 2 hours together, so Downing's also well up there, but not quite on the same level as Shetz today, unfortunately.
No, I did see a 44.4, I think, from Downing at some point, so he's on pace with James.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a Shetz-Sanders fight, and then it's a Ensby-Downing fight for sure.
Yeah, it may be interesting to get them to do some pair-up teams next time with Shetz and Ensby and Downing and Saunders.
That would be good.
Yeah. Be equal, yeah, you're right, yeah. We've about equal pace between the drivers. So
They've got to be feeling the pace of this now. 2 hours in the car.
I'm feeling the pace of this.
It's nothing on what they're going through, I'm sure, Fox. It's yeah, this is what they call sort of Le Mans or Daytona spec endurance, double stinting a car. Of course, Le Mans and Daytona, most drivers do double or triple stints. So, good preparation for any of the boys that might want to do that at any point. But yes, there will become a natural point where you just drop off a bit from your normal lap times. It's very difficult to keep up 100% pace for every single lap.
Unfortunately for the other two people on the podium, it seems like Shetz is falling off pace as they're on pace. So.
Yeah, I think with Shetz it will be just knowing the position he's in now. He's not going to be going after the fastest laps because his tyres would have had their best life out of him. And it's just a case of him negotiating the traffic and keeping the car in one piece. Because, that gap of 19 seconds is not, one tangle with a back marker, and that's wiped out. So, still got to keep his wits about him. Still a lot of traffic on the track. So unfortunately, Hugaveen or Hugveen?
Hugaveen.
I mean, I liked Hugaveen, to be honest.
Hugaveen.
The one we called earlier, mate, that was the best one.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
Hugavanian.
Non-repeatable, that one. Before we do any further insult to the driver, I would just say, he's had a great race.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he has dropped a little bit further away from Dan Briskus. It's still one of the closest battles on the track, though. Be interested to see if I can get a gap between Brooker and Broylance to see if Brooker's made any progress back in. Uh, 19 seconds that gap, so I think it has come down a little bit, but still a fair old gap as we move into the final 15 minutes of the race then.
Right, predictions for the final three. Sorry.
Brooker, Broylance, Hugaveen.
I mean, we laugh, but, it's not over.
Can we see if we can rejoin as another Porsche and just go out and be a safety car for a bit?
They have discussed
yeah,
adding a
there's
safety car.
there's some dust on one of the curbs. I think we need to throw a yellow. Yeah, they were. It'd be interesting. Obviously, with no inbuilt game mechanic, it relies on a lot of coordination and someone sitting by to
How would
obviously go out
everyone
and
know?
perform that role.
How would everyone know?
Probably the game chat would be the best method.
Oh yeah, I guess. What, safety car, safety car.
Yeah, similar to how they threw the red flag in the AOR endurance.
That was a fun time.
That was one of the most exciting things I've ever done in sim racing. I don't know why, but
All because they forgot to click the stint timer on. So they could just keep going and going and going.
yeah. I think iRacing has yellows, doesn't it? And a safety car. Sorry. So on a completely different subject.
So as we go through the field, got Schetz well into the lead. A gap of, what, 20 seconds still? So I think,
He's pushed it just over 20. Yeah, it was hovering around 17, 18 for a few laps. It's now up above 20.
So no surprises here. I mean, it was either going to be him or Sanders, and if Downing could keep up the pace, so well-deserved victory from him as long as he can keep it on track. Then we move down to Chris Downing, who is very quick and hasn't had the best of luck in the other series. But today he's had just enough pace to be P2. So not quite enough to match Schetz, but he's done plenty of good job to stave off Insby.
No, he's acquitted himself well. His lap time's been good, so I think Schetz, I think from the way he was following Saunders early on, I think he may have even had a little bit too much pace for him today. So no shame in Downing's performance at all. He's kept the gap very constant to P3.
Indeed, yeah. I wonder if Schetz actually practiced. I wonder if that's the difference. I feel like no one practiced for this.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, with having a championship race tomorrow, I feel like a lot of people are focused more on that than they are on these cars. Of course, there is an upcoming Porsche Cup Series, which I don't know if Martin put it in the description, but you can join the LRR Discord and you can sign up for that. There's plenty of spots open for that upcoming series. I think the first race is in mid-November. But that's kind of, this race is kind of promoting that series.
Yes, I think so.
So
Porsche Supercar starts
November 18th.
Continue your read through. Go to James, and I'll come back to you.
James Insby P3 has had a up and down sort of day. Started off from the back, kind of had a bad time in qualifying, didn't set a lap time, but he managed to, unfortunately, jump start first off, so he had a drive-through penalty, but he sided his way through the field up to P5, I believe, before pulling it into the pits, and then he went all the way back down, lost all his progress, and since then he's worked his way back up with damage. A couple incidents along the way, but he is well into P3, and he's well-deserved podium today. Doesn't seem to be threatening either side of second or fourth, so it's probably going to stay stable there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. It was obviously a jump start or out of position, as you say. He made his way through the field at such a pace that, without that drive-through, he would have had a good shot at least sticking within range of Schetz and Downing, which obviously with all the stuff that followed, would have put him well clear into the lead, although I think it's fairly safe to say that Schetz wouldn't have waited if he'd had James within range. But yeah, great recovery from him. 19th, correct. You are correct.
19th. I said 18th, but sure, I'll take the one.
Oh, okay. There you go. There's still
doing
17 spots open for that, so 14 drivers registered currently.
They're doing the Lamborghini thing as well, aren't they? The Super
Right
Toro.
afterwards.
Super Drogba. That's not till March, I think.
Yep.
February or
Super
March.
Tofu.
Lamborghinis, and it's all Italian tracks. It's going to be, Monza, Misano, and Imola.
Is that it?
Yep, just
Back to
3
back.
races.
Oh, okay.
3 races, 3 weeks, and then I think Porsche Cup is 5 races, 6 races, something like that. So just,
Yeah, I think it's It's definitely more.
Yep. Thursday nights, 7:30 UK, 8:30 Central, the Central European time.
Sure.
I don't
not?
know. I don't know you guys this weird time zones over there. So moving. Go ahead.
Nah, the rest of the world's weird.
That's true.
Ours,
yeah.
ours is the actual time zone.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you
we're the
guys.
Zero boys.
You guys are the Zero Boys. Yeah. Leave it to Britain to make themselves the center of the world.
I mean, if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't have found the rest of it. But
Sure. Yeah. Spaniards and the Portuguese.
I don't know who invented time.
Invented time.
not the measurement of time. Let's go on.
I feel like that was James Time. I feel like James Time invented time.
It's James time. Dave time.
Dave
Actually,
Time
it
was his
Paul
brother.
Clocks, mate. Paul Clocks.
And it's probably Craig Sundial first.
That's true. Yeah.
Actually, it was the Greeks. Yeah. Probs. Was it Greeks or Romans?
I mean, I think the first recorded
Sundial
people were probably either the Egyptians or the Mayans. Probably had some way of measuring the day before, but
Right. So
I think we're into a different podcast here, or a different.
Yeah. Please stay afterwards for the
we delve into the ancient Maya.
Maya.
Yeah, the ancient
Yeah,
Maya. That's what they call
Maya. Yeah.
For his Mayans.
Yeah,
Mayans.
Mayan
Mayans?
or Maya. Maya would
Maya would be the country or whatever, the civilization, and Mayan would be the
would
people.
be one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the second part of our 1 hour podcast on the ancient Maya, Jamie will be going into ayahuasca.
Yes.
Whatever that
Why
means.
do I see frogs? Why are the walls melting?
No, 59 minutes of it is me going from bus to bus, going, Why? What do you mean you don't take me to Maya?
I want to go to Mexico again.
Anyways.
Anyway,
This is
Yeah.
acting.
Keep a lookout for the the weird tangent podcast, whatever we want to call that. Moving down the field, we got Dan Bruskas, which of course is partnering Van Geffen. They had a good start early on. They qualified P3.
oh, James almost loses it. Sorry to interrupt you. Just jumps over the massive sausage hump off onto the grass, and he's back on the road. Carry on.
Yeah, so Van Geffen was had a great start. Was actually off on his own in P3. It was sort of two
Qualified
factors.
P3 too.
Yeah, it was sort of two factors that brought him back. It was either a couple of mistakes or just the likes of Brooker and I think it's Brilliance getting released after being stuck behind a couple of cars for a while. But after the mistakes, managed to still kept it nicely in that group. And yeah, Dan Briskus has made a couple of nice overtakes and brought them back up to P4, which I think with the pace the front three have had is definitely best of the rest today.
Okay.
Purple car looks like the old F1 Simtech team paint.
It does a bit. Yeah.
I know what that is.
1994. Roland.
I wasn't born yet. Anyways, moving on to Hugavane.
Wow, you really not.
No, it wasn't.
Actually,
1996.
that's only 3 years after I was born. Was I thinking that was a huge difference?
So moving on to Hugavin, the Pink Pig. Representing the historic Le Mans team very well. Doesn't have all the little anatomy sections that the original car does, obviously. But yeah, he started pretty high up. Much higher than he normally does. He's usually a pretty good, consistent driver. Finishing usually in the top 10, top 15 if there's some incidents in the field. But yeah, he's pretty much kept it very consistent like he normally does, and he's kept it P5 most of the time. Had some battles along the way, but yeah, looks like he might be reeling in. No, he's not reeling in Dan Bruskas. But
He's keeping that gap has been about 8 or 7 seconds roughly for a good couple of minutes now. Good 10
Yep.
minutes.
so
Yeah, I think the endurance element is definitely getting a few of these drivers now. Quite a few of them back into the 47s now. That'll be a mixture of the tyres and fatigue, I'm sure.
yep. So moving back down into Broylan's 6th place. I don't know. He's kind of just been in this midfield battle for most of the race. Had a couple of incidents. He almost punted Robertson off. That's one we saw. But yeah.
He's managed to keep himself ahead of Bruker, which is good.
Yeah, Bruker has taken nearly 6 seconds out of him over the past 4 or 5 laps. After his mistakes, Bruker, I think, easily had the pace for P4 today. But obviously there's a couple of spins and incidents, and I think the same with Brilliance. I think he's had a few incidents along the way. It was always likely to happen, wasn't it? I think 4th through to 8th and 9th were so close for so long.
It was like a train. So, I guess, yeah, we've already started talking about Brooker, but P7 is, like you said, had a couple spins today. Probably hitting himself over not finishing up higher. He definitely had the pace for P4 today, but a few mistakes out there. Left some time on the table, but P7 is good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then next up, Dan. Pretty good recovery. Again, someone that had the pace, I think, to P4 or 5. But an awful lot of mistakes and spins and a couple of little altercations with some walls.
Yeah.
Of
course, he
might not be his favourite place after here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know that he's not a huge fan of the Porsche Cup car either.
Who is missing? Something has happened.
I just saw Bruker fly off.
No, Sanders.
Downing.
Along in.
Yeah, I've lost connection.
Oh. 2 minutes.
Downing is gone.
Other instabilities, possibly.
Oh,
It's a long
what's
time.
a change?
Ever going like that? Using a high enough CPU priority could cause issues like this.
I think Downing disconnected. James is up into P2. That P4 just became...
Well, the server is currently sitting at 5 and 8% on the CPUs, so
Oh, probably
the
fine
service
then.
is 100, so I don't think it's the server.
I dropped as well, though. Wasn't just him, it was me too.
Well, you do have some form of that today.
Right, okay then.
But yes, there have been quite a few
Hugevin
disconnects.
is fighting for a podium here if Dembruscus makes a mistake.
What happened, Downing? Chris, sorry. I don't have to call you by your surname anymore.
That was... Do you know how many times that's happened today? It's just disconnected. 2 minutes left to go.
Oof.
That's a crying shame. Looks like he had a few fun laps with Shetz before he decided he wanted to get a bit further down the road. But yeah, that disconnect. I think there's been quite a few issues with some people today. Unfortunately, how was your race up until that point, though?
I had a good battle with Chets, and then I come out of that hairpin. Just power slid through the... Power slid out of the hairpin at the top of the hill. It just got me, and then he was just a little bit quicker than me. Then I couldn't keep up with him, so that was just keep it smooth. But that's so annoying. So you do all that time and then disconnect with 2 minutes left to go. I don't know what's going on with the server, because Robert disconnected at the start of the race.
We disconnected.
Did you?
Yeah, both me. I disconnected.
Because I was second right. I was just watching Geordie at the and he was doing his stint, and it just kept disconnecting me every 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I thought, oh, maybe it's me, so I reset all my router, PC, everything, come back in. And then that's why, and then when Tommy tapped Geordie...
Is that why the driver swap couldn't happen?
Yeah, that's why. So Geordie had to redo the pit stop again. So I don't know what's going on with the server. It keeps coming up with bad...
Sorry to interrupt you. Shetz has crossed P1.
So Shetz takes the win then. Masterful performance from him. And quite fortunately for James, he's going to be crossing P2. We all know who should have been there.
He's got a good half a lap to go, and he's off the track, and he's back on again.
He's been a little ragged towards the end.
He has. It's got some traffic, though, in the shape of Hirazawa. Is that Hirazawa? Oh, Hirazawa not getting out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know
James gets past him. There you go, perfect.
I don't know if we want Hirazawa into the main leagues here. Has been not a great backmarker today, but I guess there's no review.
He's been a little stubborn, but I haven't seen him, you know,
He hasn't been purposely holding
anything.
people up much.
He hasn't. So James and Stambriskus are still to cross the line, but Hugveen has crossed in 4th, Broilance in 5th, Whitenbrooker in 6th, Dan 7th, Rafstar in 8th.
So only 2 drivers on the lead lap there, Dambruscus and Ensby. Oh no, second, so they're 1 lap down, maybe. Or was James on the lead lap? I can't tell.
I think James is on the lead lap.
Yeah.
I don't think Dan. Oh, he's very squirrely out of the final
you go.
corner there.
Great job, James. Well done.
Good recovery after the drive through.
Flashing lights in victory.
Yeah.
Welcome to the interview room, Shetz. I guess Tommy's first name. How did you feel the race went?
Went alright. I was stuck behind Jordi for like an hour, and he later made a little mistake, and I hit him, so he spun, and yeah, his tires were dead after the spin, so he went to the pit, and Chris Downing went in. So, but something went wrong there. I don't know what, because he was 30 seconds behind, so I just let him pass. And I think he made a mistake in the hairpin, and I overtook him there, and then I just finished the race.
It was an unbelievable battle
Yeah.
with you and Saunders there for, as you say, almost 55 minutes of the stint. Nose to tail every time we jumped back. It looked like you were trying to make a move on him and just couldn't quite get it done, or you had the pace, but it wasn't really in the braking zone. It was through the mid-speed corners.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys have had some incredible fights in the league racing, but how was that for such an intense race for so long?
Yeah, it was really fun. But you know, the same car, it's really difficult to overtake. And as you say, it was quicker in the middle sector a little bit, but overtaking possibilities were almost none. I had him a couple of times, but you know, just not enough.
No, not quite, but I will give you all the kudos for
Thanks.
waiting up for him as well. It's a nice
Did you
touch.
see the
There's a
spin
lot of people-
or not?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like someone's just got the power on a bit too early, and obviously that caught you out a little bit in terms of him being a bit slower out of the corner as he got it back in a straight line.
Yeah, it was
just
a bit
little
of a
contact.
all or nothing situation because I was stuck behind him, so I just went for it, but I probably should have lifted.
No, but you waited for him, and then unfortunately it was Downing's internet issues meant that when he came into the pits to do the stop, Chris wasn't actually ready.
Oh.
So I think he just did the damage, came straight back out again, and then obviously had to come in the next lap after that. So, and unfortunately, those internet issues reoccurring for Chris at the end.
Okay, great. Well, I waited for him, so.
Absolutely, yeah, it was nice to see, and it was great to see you two guys go head to head and some mega pace when you came back out on those fresh tyres. So, great job.
You were the only one in the 143s, so class of the field.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. Fun car, fun track.
Yeah, it was good. I haven't driven much around Kyalami, and I didn't, to be fair, get to drive around it in the race, but the practice was good. It's a fun event.
Now we're going to move on to P2, James Ensby. How did your race go, James?
P3, but I was hunting P2.
No, you were P2.
Was I?
Well,
Yeah.
Disconnect, but yeah.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Chris
Wow.
Chris disconnected it with 2 minutes left.
Jeez. Okay. Well, I got a drive through at the start because I jumped it ever so slightly. And then I moved on to just try to slice my way through the field. Lap 1, I think from 16th or 15th I made it to P9. I just tried to get as much pace down before I had to take the drive through. Took the drive through, back of the pack, and then sort of hunted through. I had contact and got hit from behind. It took me off the track. I was being a bit aggressive by the way I was driving, but I knew I had to make time, and I wasn't messing around, so I was just like full send pretty much, overtake as many people as I can. And then I picked up the damage, which was 15 seconds worth in the pits, and I was like, whew. And it affected the car's performance, but still smashing the lap times, just trying to get it down, and yeah, just I've never been so sweaty in all my life for 2 hours.
Yeah, how was it doing a double stint? Obviously, it's a bit longer than you've raced before in one go. You start to feel it towards the end, or felt like you could have done a triple?
I reckon I could have had like 20, 30 minutes more maximum, I reckon, before my hands started to hurt. But it's just consistency, really. I felt for the 2 hours as generally consistent. I had a few little slides here and there, but nothing too dramatic. It's just the start that sucked. I screwed up my qualifying, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a real shame. You obviously made your way through pretty quickly. It's obviously the drive-through that put ends to that. But yeah, there were some very brave moves that we enjoyed watching. And your pace was about there or thereabouts with Chris, and only a few tenths off Shetz and Saunders when they were battling. So he would have been up there, but unfortunately, obviously, that drive-through paid for that. But great recovery anyway, and good drive.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. Make those moves on stream that everyone goes ooh and a bit of entertainment. It was more of a challenge for me, actually. I enjoyed slicing my way through the field. Yeah,
well, I saw the first few cars. You were I could see you were a little bit cautious in there, just to see what they were going to do. And then I think once you got the first couple of moves done, must have given you a bit more confidence. And then you used a full send mode.
Nice. Well, yeah, thanks for the stream, Fox, and commentators, Jamie, and I don't know if Rage was commentating as well, probably, because of
he was.
the incident. Yeah. Well, thanks for the stream, and I look forward to watching it back.
Yeah, just don't watch the first 30 minutes. It's just me talking to myself because no one's there.
I'll skip that bit.
Yeah, it's good.
Right, thank you.
Yep.
Good job, James.
It doesn't look like P3 is in the chat, but we do have P4, Elko Hugavin. How did your race go?
Hello. First of all, I am very grateful to be in the position that I am today, and I could not have done this without the team effort. All the people back in the factory.
Can I just stop you there to say you have the nicest voice I've ever heard?
It is. I'm really feeling the bass for my
head. It was a pretty nice race. I did a solo one, so I drove the whole 2 hours. And the only thing that I was surprised by was when I got into the pits. I had a lot of understeer because of the tires, and then when you pitted for new tires, then I had oversteer because of the fresh tires, and so I had to adapt, and that was the only hard part for me during the 2 hour stint. And I don't know, just be consistent and drove my laps, and I had fun.
Yeah, it was a fantastic.
Pink is my color, huh?
Yeah, the pink pig. You represented the Le Mans history well there.
Yeah. One of my favorite cars.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, you did a really fantastic job. I believe you qualified P5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit higher up than you normally do. So it was a very fantastic day for you.
Yeah.
And finished P4 after the late disconnect from Chris Downing. So, yeah, I think it's a fantastic job from you. You kept it really consistent out there. A lot of clean racing. I did notice a bit of a half attempt at a dive bomb on Dan Robertson. Halfway through.
Yeah.
That was about the only mistake I saw. Everything else was super clean, super consistent. So, good job out there.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I thought I could brake into the corner, but the car just kept going straight, and so I waited, and it was my mistake. But I have to find the guy and say sorry to him. So
he's in the chat.
That's
so
all right. I'm in the chat. Yeah, no, I saw you might be going a bit hot, so I managed to avoid the worst of it. So it's all good.
Yeah, at some point you just misjudge your braking, and I don't know. Yeah, maybe if I hit the brakes maybe 3, 4, 5 meters earlier, then I could have managed to steer also a little bit more to the right, so that I did not smash into the side of him.
I don't think you smashed into him.
It was just misjudgment.
Yeah, that was small little mistake.
a little tap. Rubbing is racing and all that, So
Yeah, but in these cars, if you get a it's hard to correct your car after that.
yeah,
But I really like the car. It's really fun, no traction control is pretty nice. I had a good setup. Yeah.
Yeah, they get a little bit slidey if you have some fun in them. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you can slide a little bit and you feel it coming, so you can catch it before it gets too far, the slide.
Exactly. Well, great job, and yeah,
Thanks, guys.
It looked like a lot of fun out there, especially for the first
Yeah.
sort of 40-50 minutes of that.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go back to P3, which is the team of Van Geffen and Dambruskus. How was
Cheers.
your race?
Oh, the race. Well, it was interesting. We got P3 from the start, so that was unexpected. Heel did a fantastic qualifying, I would say. Maybe he would comment on that. I don't know.
How was the qualifying? Are you there? Van Geffen?
Yeah, he should be there.
How was your qualifying, Van Geffen? No? Alright, he left.
Probably mic problems. So he did a fantastic qualifying. And, I think he's on.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. How was the qualifying?
Yeah, sorry. I'm having some problems with my microphone, but now it should work. Yeah, no, qualifying was very short, so I was lucky to have the first lap be a nice time, and so we could start on P3. And yeah, I think the stint went very well. I think the first lap there was this Robertson who was quite aggressive, I would say, and overtook me at some point with a sort of a dive bomb. So I was not very happy after that, but I mean, was happy to let him go in front. And I saw he was also making quite a few mistakes. So yeah, then after his mistake, it was nice in P3 to get some distance again. And yeah, I think the second half of the stint, I had some troubles with the tires. I had some pressure loss, and yeah, I lost a little bit of pace, and I think the guys behind me gained a lot of pace, so they came close very quick and were able to overtake me. I think there was also one overtake that was slightly on the aggressive side, but yeah, and then we assumed the event would be also on a ×6 multiplier, and we actually I made the second tire pressure, so for Kaz according to that, and I only noticed until it was too late that it was a bit that the multiplier was actually ×3 apparently. So yeah, I think then Kaz was up to him to take care of the tires in his tin.
Yeah, it looked like you had a commanding position in that third, and it's interesting to hear it was the tyres. We were wondering what it was. We didn't see a mistake on track, but you obviously did start to lose pace a little bit, and then after a couple of cars gone by, you were straight back up to speed again. So was that just the tyres coming back into that working range then towards the end?
Yeah, so I think I had some tire pressure loss as well on my rear side, which was very annoying, especially on these long left-handers. So yeah, it was just some small mistakes and a little bit of pace loss. Afterwards, yeah, I was able to stabilize again, fortunately. But yeah, the two guys were able to overtake, I think, before Kaz was on his stint. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good that you stabilised it and kept yourselves in the fight. And then Kaz, that was a good recovery, especially considering that you might have had the wrong tyre pressures there then, and you still managed to make a good move to retake P4. So
yeah.
how did you find that stint, and were the pressures just something you had to drive to, or did it not have too much of an effect in the end?
It was quite. We did quite a miscalculation. The tires were burning from the first minute of the stint, basically. So I basically had the challenge to try and to preserve the tires until the very end, which luckily I pretty much managed to do. The last 2 or 3 laps were really hard. I mean, I really had to keep easy on the throttle because the rear tires were gone.
Well, it's obviously a really good recovery, and
oh yeah,
you still managed
actually,
to...
the pace wasn't that bad. I mean, I managed to be on quite a legit pace, of course, nothing compared to Tommy, but I mean,
No, yeah, maybe recovery is the wrong word. Maybe it's more the good management, because you managed to close a fairly substantial gap initially to Hugaveen, get past him as he ran wide, and then you were far enough down the road that when you had to manage those tyres at the end, you had the gap to do so. So, great job.
Yeah, luckily for us.
And well, I guess both of you only did hour stints. We've obviously been talking to some people how it was doing a full 2-hour stint, but have you guys experienced the driver swap before in that style of race? How did you find that?
First encounter for both of us.
But apart from the tire pressures, all went fairly smoothly for you.
Well, pretty much. Well, the thing was that for first 5 laps, I couldn't manage to turn on the mirror. It was gone for some reason, so that was quite new.
When you're in drive mode, you sometimes have to cycle back through them when you take over.
Yeah, so I had to.
Annoying.
Yeah, so I had to find that out while driving. So that was a bit annoying, but it was fine.
Yeah, you have to find a straight to go through all the views and hope that you're in the right one by the time you get to the corner.
Exactly.
Well, great job there, guys. You obviously, it was Saunders and Downing's misfortune with your benefit there, and good job.
Oh, for sure.
Podium.
I'm gonna go boast to the artist right now. He's gonna know everything about it. Every single minute I enjoyed it. Chris, I'm coming for you if you're listening to this.
Remember, you might need to see them on track again as soon as tomorrow. So maybe go.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's tomorrow. Today's today. So
enjoy today. Absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah, I will.
Cheers, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And I think final one, Dan. There was
You've been called out quite a few times.
there was some brilliant pace amongst there, but what was it? Well, just talk us through your race and were the incidents just mistakes from your sense? Was it? Do you want to blame something on the car?
Yeah, I mean, I was really pleased with quali. I spun. I came out of the pits second, and then spun immediately on my hot lap, and I was like, well, this is going to be tricky, and I managed to pull it back and get 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that, and I had a really good start, and I can only apologize for the slightly aggressive move at the hairpin on the first lap to take P3. I saw a bigger gap than there actually was, and I was a bit braver than I probably should have been on the brakes for lap 1, and then essentially it's a story of getting overexcited.
I'm P3.
Yeah, I was P3. I thought I could pull away, and I'd love to blame the car, but realistically, I was just a bit overeager on the throttle and trying to squeeze the extra lap time out, and I should have just calmed down, really. And then it's a tale of frustration, I think, from my part, and I think I had the pace for a much better result if I could have just calmed down and maintained some solid lap times. But the adrenaline got better of me, I think.
Do you think the length of the race played a factor in that as well? When you start to make mistakes and start to get a bit frustrated, and you look at the clock and there's still an hour 20, an hour 10, an hour. Do you think that was, or was the 2 hours actually not an issue for you in the end?
Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I mean, I'm used to doing longer races. I do 2.4 hours with another community, sort of once a month. So I'm used to doing the sort of longer stints on my own. But yeah, when there was an hour left and I spun twice, I think morale was quite low, and I was very frustrated, and I think that caused probably the rest of the incidents that I had. Just frustration more than anything.
Well, it was, but you didn't give up. You kept it on track. You gained some positions towards the end through either incidents or pits, or I didn't. So yes, P7 is still not a bad result in that field, and
yeah, I gained a bucket of time out of the pits, and somehow, and my pace was reasonably well until I got rear-ended by someone. I can't remember who it was. He left the race, I think.
Broylance was.
No, I was trying to catch him. It was in the sort of last half hour of the race or so. And I took some damage there, which made it a bit more of a handful for the last part of the race. But yeah, I couldn't catch. I couldn't keep it in a straight line for long enough, unfortunately. But it's my first time in the Porsche. I normally drive like the Aston Martins and the front engine GT3s and GT4s, so it's a different ball game.
It is, isn't they? They rely a bit more on the driver, those cars, as we've talked to a few other guys about. That no traction control, it doesn't make them undrivable or anything. It's just you have to be a little bit more of your wits about you with them, don't you?
Yeah, and I'm going to spend more time in the Porsche and probably in the Maserati to sort of break some bad habits on the throttle that I've got that make me spin all the time. Well, in these cars anyway.
Absolutely. Practice makes somewhere close to perfect, because perfect doesn't exist.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Well, great job anyway.
Thank you. I'm going to rewatch the stream and see how you guys did.
Yeah, I mean, the commentary hopefully went better than the race for us.
Yeah. Whenever.
What happened?
Rage disconnected.
I thought that might have happened.
And the server didn't have rejoin turned on, so we couldn't get back in. I was just stuck looking at his car stationary on track, couldn't switch to it, and as soon as I left, I couldn't rejoin either. So
that's a shame.
Came and joined Fox in the commentary booth,
which was much appreciated because I was dying.
That's all right. It's been an enjoyable race actually. To watch from the other side of the curtain, so to speak. So hopefully everyone else has enjoyed it as well.
It was very fun to race in.
Yeah, nice little event and a break-up. So
yeah,
going to wrap up there, folks.
Yep, and with that, we're going to end the stream. I do want to promote yet again that there is an upcoming Porsche Cup Series through LRR, and there might be a few spots coming available for the GT3 and the GT4s. The GT3 and GT4s will be streamed on this channel, the LRR channel, and on the Nevi streams for the GT4s on Monday evenings in Europe. It's kind of afternoon in America. And then the Porsche Cup Series, which has plenty of spots to join, will be on Thursday nights. Just check the race app, join the Discord, and you can go to the race app, or you can just look up the race app to find out the time zones and what time it is your time. But it will be Thursday evenings if you want to join that. And yep, thanks for everyone who watched. Thanks for all the drivers who participated. And look out for the next stream.
Absolutely. Tune in tomorrow for Paul Ricard round GT3s. Yeah.
On Last Row Racing. So, good night, everyone.